Okay, going live. Screen capture 2. So hello, welcome back to Go Again Gaming and the Pass a Turn podcast, a weekly, hopefully, podcast on Magic the Gathering and all of its doings. Joined again by Tom. How's it going? You all right?
Yeah, not too bad. Cheers. Yeah, nice to be back.
Yeah, it's good to get into the swing of it, and especially now we've got a load of cards spoiled for Streets of New Capenna. Loads of interesting mechanics going on, lots of weird stuff going on, and tribes getting support that hasn't had it, previously before, and loads of good stuff. So apologies for the graphics of people that can see. It's not nowhere near as good as it was last week because had a bit of a mare getting it set up, but the audio is still all good. So hopefully you can see all the cards. So we're just going to get straight into it, aren't we? Obviously we finished on this legendary bird demon last week, I believe.
I don't think we managed to speak about the demon last time.
Oh no.
The
Okay.
bird. I think we had the other three. So there's two of the crime lords left.
Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
So the first is Falco Sparra, Pact Weaver.
Yeah.
So 1 green, white, and blue. Legendary bird demon, 3/3 flying trample. When it enters the battlefield with a shield counter on it, you may look at the top card of your library any time. You may cast spells from the top of your library by removing a counter from a creature you control, in addition to paying the other costs.
Cool. So shield counters are unique to, obviously, this clan or this crime. Obviously, as we can see there on the immediate left, we've got a creature that enters with a shield counter on it as well. So obviously that can link into that. So you may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast spells at the top of your library by removing a counter from a creature you control, in addition to paying the other costs. So this is pretty interesting.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. I feel like it's almost there. Right, so I'll start from the shield counters. So for those that don't know, it's if the creature would be dealt damage or destroyed, remove a shield counter from it instead.
Oh right, sorry. There's an actual mechanic behind the shield counter.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yes, the shield counter is, as it sounds, a shield. So the first time it takes damage, it defends itself.
Yep.
Annoyingly, it's any damage. I don't know why it's not if it would be dealt lethal damage. Because you could hit this bird with a 1/1 pinger, and the shield's gone. Like, the shield's just pointless.
Yep, that's true.
But on the upside, it does protect you from board wipes. If you can give everything a shield counter, someone board wipes, well, all it does is blow up all their shields, and everyone stays alive. So I don't know what it's meant to be for. Again, but people could just like chump block your stuff to get rid of the shields.
Andrew is saying it's regenerate in token form, only worse.
Yeah, much more limited.
Yeah.
So and then playing stuff off the top. The fact you can't play lands, you have to cast it, so you can't play lands. Removing counters. It's more like going to be +1/+1 counters. Obviously, they're going to try and give you some sort of shield counters in this. Like, what you want to be obviously doing with is taking something off that's negative. Like, I don't know how much there is to pair with this that's like -1 counter themes, like from Amonkhet and stuff, so that you can keep casting spells and sort of getting a positive. Because it feels like your casting stuff's good, but you're weakening your board otherwise.
Yeah, that's right. You're taking things off, and obviously it's another hoop to jump through is putting it on there in the first place. So, yeah, and it's not even like they get a reduction. You're just increasing your hand size by 1 basically, because you can look at the top card of your library and you can cast it. There's no reduction or anything. It's just in order to cast that extra card that you get access to, you have to remove stuff from other creatures, which is weakening your board and undoing what you've just done. But I guess maybe there's other things that we haven't seen yet that will help this strategy. And obviously in green and blue and white, there is a lot of token stuff, isn't there? And doubling your counters and all that sort of thing. So I guess it could work in that sense. But, yeah, I mean, obviously...
I'm not massively high on it, but...
No.
What I can see is like probably turned to a very annoying EDH deck.
Yeah.
I don't want to fucking play against anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, not one that I'm at all excited to build personally, though.
No. And obviously, the same clan as well. As I said just now, Disciplined Duelist comes in for Bant, double strike, 2/1 when it enters. It enters the battlefield with a shield counter on it. So it prevents. So he enters with 1 shield. It prevents 1 damage, right? So obviously he has regenerate. Because obviously he's only got 1 life. You take the shield counter away if he was to be dealt damage, and he doesn't die, basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's fair
So
enough.
like I say, it works well with cards like when it only has 1 toughness. The shield is effectively to stop it dying once.
Yeah.
But I just feel like if you put a shield on something big, and then someone's like, okay, just throw something small at it, I guess it does waste someone's resource. Like if they have to ping your shield to get rid of it, and then use something else to kill it, they've wasted that ping. They might have been able to go to your face or take out one of your small creatures. So I guess it probably will be the sort of thing that once it's built up and you've got a handful of them on the board, they're probably much stronger than they initially look.
Yeah, most likely. And yeah, I can imagine there's going to be other forms of counters. If you're referring to an EDH deck, you're going to want to put all those Vicoria cards in there as well, obviously. Andrew is saying, do EDH decks come in flavors other than annoying anymore?
Mine still come in other flavors, Andrew.
Yeah.
They come in the flavors of rubbish. They
Yeah.
come in the flavors of starfish.
All sorts of trash. But yeah, I'm sure we'll see.
Pingers.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see other Shield-esque stuff come up, whether that's in this episode or the next one. So, yeah. So if we scroll up a bit here to the next line, we'll speak about obviously the other crime lord quickly. So this is Zeotoro the Incinerator. So this is the Jund one. So Jund, black, red, green, and 3 for a 6/6 flyer. At beginning of your end step, you may sack another creature, and when you do, it deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target, and you create 3 treasure tokens. This is a like a flingy commander, which then obviously rewards you for sacking your creatures for damage. It does only. It's any target, so you can fling it at player's face or player's creature, and then you get 3 treasure tokens off the back of it. So it's probably going to be a sort of a combo-tastic card, is it?
I've seen people sort of go obviously both ways. You can go like treasure heavy, like mega treasure combo madness, or throw in big creatures, really high power, and just like say fling them.
Yeah.
Commander damage doesn't have to be combat damage, does it? If you can get a 21 power creature and fling it with Zeotoro, you kill someone with commander damage, don't you?
I think it has to be combat damage.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, then that blows my plan out the water.
Because I think I encountered it when I was, because it's the same with the very old school card, probably well off topic, but Bosch Iron Golem. Good old Bosch. You pay 4 mana and you sacrifice an artifact, and he basically flings the artifact at someone's face.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that counts as commander damage. Otherwise, that would be ridiculous. I think it has to be combat. But yeah, going back onto this, black, red, and green seems like a good. Obviously, we had Corvold. We have Prosh in those colours. So there's going to be loads of tools that you can use, just in a different way with this archetype.
Yeah, like I say, it feels like very similar, but different enough that you could, like, I don't know, make a few different card choices in the deck. And make it feel like a little bit different.
Yeah, exactly. Andrew again is confirming commander damage is combat damage only, which is fine. Otherwise, Niv Mizzet would be disgusting, he says.
Of course, yes.
Yes.
Another infamous dragon.
Yeah. Or Brian Stoutarm, the Boros one that chucks things at people.
Yes.
So yeah, thanks for the clarification. So we've got a casualty card here. Do you want to quickly explain what that is?
So yeah, on the theme of sacrificing. So this is a little chap for 1 and a blue. Casualty 1. So as you cast this spell, you may sacrifice a creature with power 1 or greater, and if you do, copy this spell. So essentially, casualty is you can sack a creature to copy the spell. So casualty 1 is power 1 or more. If it was casualty 5, you have to sacrifice a creature with power 5 or more. Look at the top 2 cards of your library, put 1 on the hand and 1 other on the bottom of your library. The only thing I really care about is the fact this is instant casualty.
Yeah.
Because I think in standard, that's going to be quite strong. It's almost like a counter spell. Not quite. But if someone's going to kill your creature, you can just casualty it instant speed.
Get the benefit. Yeah.
And yeah, draw 2 cards effectively, like sort of scry 2, not even quite, but yeah, look
Yeah.
top 2 and draw 1 twice, which I think is not too bad.
Yeah, I think that is very good.
Yeah.
Anything that copies spells, you're getting 2 cards for 1, especially if you're looking at standard. Anything that gets you up on cards is good. Yeah, casualty is a good, nice little thing there. And it's power of 1 or greater, so you can basically target anything with that if needed. Doesn't have to be.
There's some that's more, there's some that's like casualty 3. Obviously, it's a stronger effect.
Yeah.
But it requires you chucking something of actual value away.
Yeah, exactly. Just nice little bird there for the Flyers build, I guess. Whenever their player casts second spell, it convives. So obviously we know what convive is, or connive. Sorry.
Was that on? Oh, yeah, it was. It was on Raffine. So we did speak out last week. Says just draw and discard. If you discard a non-land spell, put a +1/+1 counter on it.
Yeah.
So it's whenever any player casts their second spell any turn. So if you and your opponent are both throwing spells around, that bird could get big, and obviously in Commander it could get really big.
Yeah, I think even something like this could do work in Standard, because obviously it's a 1/3 flyer. It helps you filter your hand, and it grows over time. So yeah, for a 2-drop 1/3 can block quite a few things early on. I think it's pretty good for that.
Yeah,
nice.
And especially if you can. Also, there seems to be a lot of themes here about filling your graveyard. Like Jund is all about sacrifice, fill your graveyard. Casualty, which is Grixis colours, I believe, is fill your graveyard. Connive, which is the Esper colour ones.
That's right.
I think. That's all fill your graveyard. So I've not seen many big payoffs for it, apart from the sort of, what's it called? Mechanic we'll see in a minute that says it cares if you've got 5 or more mana types in your graveyard.
All right, yeah.
I think there's going to be sort of synergies with it all in limited, but I don't know whether or not somewhere it's in standard or pioneer or where. I don't know whether something in here is going to be designed to be bigger than itself. But we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Someone smarter than us will find out.
Yeah. So
here we've got wiretapping. So 4 and a blue enchantment. It's got hideaway 5.
Yep.
So I think this is one of the Mario's teasers about something coming back. This mechanic. So hideaway was it in Lorwyn?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I made that. Yeah, and I think that was the one that you called. You said it might be hideaway. And it's when it enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 cards of your library, exile 1 face down, put the rest on the bottom in your random order. Then whenever you draw your first card during each of your draw steps, draw a card. Then if you have 9 or more cards in your hand, you may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost. Basically, draw 2 at the beginning of your turn.
Yeah.
I swear there must be an easier way of writing that.
Oh, I know, right. Whenever you draw your first card during each of your draw steps, like how many draw steps do you get?
Yeah. Again, I don't know. Maybe we need to build a whole EDH deck around making wiretapping better, maximize your draw steps. I don't know.
Yeah. Multiple draw steps.
So I think this is just a cycle. I think it's just a cycle of these hideaway enchantments.
Yeah.
Which.
Yeah.
Say they give you incremental draw 2 every turn for 5 mana, and then potentially once you've sort of got out of control a bit, you can cast something for free.
Yeah. Yeah. It's okay. I guess there's probably quicker and easier way of drawing cards than this. Obviously, this costs 5. Yeah. Obviously, the upside is obviously that if you have 9 or more cards in your hand, which obviously is another loop to jump through, because obviously you need your reliquary towers or no maximum hand sizes out to be able to achieve it constantly. Then obviously you can play a card without paying its cost. But yeah, nice.
So we've got 2 more mechanics. I guess probably this was all spoiled during the mechanics spoiler.
Yeah.
These cards here, so I've got 1 of each mechanic. So the next one is the Naya mechanic. So it's Allegiance, which cares about another creature entering the battlefield under your control. So in this case, it's Devilish Valet, 2 and a red, 1/3 trample haste. when another creature enters the battlefield under your control, double Devilish Valley's power until end of turn.
Yep.
So obviously that could get quite out of hand if you can spit a load of tokens out or something weird. And there's some that have like Alliance, and then like if it's the second time it triggers this turn, it does something extra. So I'm sure we'll come on to one of them in a bit. But
so
then
it cares about
after
just
the second, it goes back to the first original ability again.
That's pretty cool. And it's a Devil Warrior as well, which I think could be something to do with the tribe thing that we had in the Marrows teaser. Something trying to make a certain archetype work or something like that. What was it? Or was it a tribe or a creature type that they haven't tried to make work before?
Yeah. It was to do with a draft archetype, wasn't it?
Yeah, draft archetype. Yeah, I don't know what that. Or was it a creature type? I can't remember. I cannot remember.
Oh. Yeah, a creature type theme for a draft archetype that's never been used before. Oh. So yeah, I don't know. It could be devils.
Could be devils. Yeah, there's a few devilish things in there. Going back to the draw step thing quickly, Andrew is saying Sphinx of second stun. Sphinx of the second stun gives in a second draw step at the end of turn. So yeah, I mean,
looks like we've got ourselves a deck. 2 cards in.
2 cards in
to go.
Lovely old job.
That's how most of my decks start. Yeah. These 2 cards go nicely together.
Yes.
Let's see what else can go with them.
Sigil, Starfish, and Jalira.
Exactly. The other 98 just fall into place.
Exactly. Continuing on with the new mechanics, we've got Blitz here, which obviously Flesh and Blood players will know as an actual format, Blitz. But this is if you cast a spell for its Blitz cost, it gains haste, and when it dies, draw a card, sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. So it's like sort of like the dash mechanic, isn't it? Where it comes in with haste, but obviously doesn't return to hand, it just dies instead, and you draw a card.
Yeah, so it's still the same as dash, it still replaces itself in your hand. Like dash, it goes back to hand, so that's the same. The good thing here is it's no matter when it dies. Obviously, dash. If you dash it and it dies, it goes. Yeah. Whereas this, if you blitz it and it dies, you still get the card. So that's quite handy. Again, it's sacrifices. So again, part of sacrifice theme, part of graveyard filling theme.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. Obviously, it triggers all the sacrifice things, doesn't it? Which is nice. And obviously, because it has haste, you can do the actual ability, which is red and tap and discard a card, create a token that's a copy of another type creature you control, and it gains haste. And when it dies, draw a card, sacrifice it. So that the thing that you copy actually gets blitz as well, effectively.
Yeah, effectively, it's giving blitz to anything on the field.
Yeah.
For the cost of a card in hand, which I think late game could be pretty good.
Yeah, well, if you just look at those 2 cards there, you got Devilish Valley and Jaxis. You play these and you copy the Devilish Valley, which then enters, and it then doubles the other Devilish Valley's power because of the fact another creature enters. You're potentially doubling his power by quite a lot there on those 2 cards. So yeah, anything that spews out tokens like this Blitz mechanic and the Devilish Valley, nice little synergies there already.
Yeah. So what have we got next? Oh my god. Halo Fountain.
Yes.
Where do we start? 2 and a white for an artifact. White and tap. Untap a tapped creature you control. Create a 1/1 green and white citizen creature token. White, tap and untap 2 tapped creatures you control. Draw a card. White. So that's 5 white. Untap it and untap 15 tapped creatures you control. You win the game. So you called again. I think it was you called the untap mechanic. We haven't necessarily got that, but we've got an untap engine of sorts.
Yeah, that's right.
How easy is it to win with that bottom ability?
Well, yeah, I mean, even in mono white, it's quite easy to get loads of tokens. If you look at ridiculous things, like Anointed Procession is white. There's loads of stuff that creates lots of white weenie, as we know. I reckon it could be fairly easy to win with this sort of thing, but it's just a kill on sight card, isn't it? Really, you play this, it's
Yeah.
it's asking to be removed.
I don't know. The big thing is that you said, okay, you might be able to create loads of tokens, but you've got to get 15 of them tapped. So you
Yeah.
probably have to attack with them, and if they're just little tokens, they're not doing anything. So normally, like most token decks, you make a horde of tokens, 1/1s, play something like create a hoof, something that then suddenly makes them big, and win.
Yeah.
I guess it's sort of like this is like your alternative to create a hoof. If someone's stopping your hoof for some reason, you could get out the fountain, tap with them, hopefully still have 15 left over after you attack, and then untap them all. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good point. Obviously, with this as well, in the white color pie, there's a lot of that. Also, artifacts like Obelisk of Erd and stuff that say convoke. So I think you tap creatures, don't you, to do
That's
something?
a good point. Yeah, they like pay for the mana,
Vehicles,
don't
vehicles as well.
they?
You could just
Yeah,
crew loads of
yeah,
stuff.
it's crew. That's a good point. Because
Um,
you can crew something multiple times. So
yeah,
if something only got crew cost of 2, it doesn't. There's nothing to stop you crewing it 15 times.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it's not like one. So yeah, and that's a good. Yeah, maybe that's a lot easier to turn on than I thought actually.
Yeah,
And actually,
it's
just the
not just
first two
attacking.
abilities, just effectively giving yourself like they can both be done at instant speed. So someone like you tap out and then attack, someone attacks you back, then you untap some card and untap some stuff, draw a card or make a token to do some blocks, and
Yeah,
I don't know. You might get a few people there.
I think it's pretty strong. Obviously, the stream is a little bit behind. Andrew's just chipping in with regards to the ones below with the red token generators that die at the end of turn. A nice little Commander Legends card. Obeka could make the tokens permanent by killing the death trigger. Obviously, she ends the turn, doesn't she?
Yeah, she was the is it the Grixis Orc that can just end
the turn. Yeah, Sundial of the Infinite on a commander, basically.
Yeah. I always feel like I want to do something weird with that card, but I don't know. It just feels like a lot of effort. A lot of effort. And does the deck then do nothing if the commander's been destroyed?
That's the thing, isn't it?
Like if your whole deck is based around avoiding end of turn negatives, like making so things that you don't. If you suddenly have all those negatives in your deck, does your deck just do shit?
Yeah, that's it. It's like how
That's
big
my worry.
big are the positives as a result of trying to do that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure there's a few.
But it would be funny. It would be funny.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like the deck I've always wanted to make from Commander Legends. I mean, this is going back bloody 2 years now. Commander Legends was released. Jesus. I've always wanted to build that Blim deck, which is one that gives your opponents permanents you control. I just think that's would be hilarious. But that is going way back in time and way off track already. So yeah, that's what we do every now and again. But we've got the Planeswalker next.
Elspeth herself.
Elspeth herself.
She's back.
Yeah.
So we've got legendary Elspeth, 5 mana, 5 starting loyalty, +1. Choose up to 1 target creature, put a +1/+1 counter, and a counter of flying, first strike, lifelink, or vigilance on it.
Yeah.
So, like the Ikoria counters. -3. Look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may put a permanent card with mana value 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield with a shield counter on it. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order.
Okay.
And then -7, create 5 3/3 white angel tokens with flying.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Aaron?
I think it's quite aggressively costed for what it does on the +1. I mean, you can do the -3, but again, that's getting a 3-drop permanent out with a counter on it. I mean, that's for 5 mana you could play something else which is a lot bigger than that. -7, getting 5 3/3 white angels with flying. Again, it's just not really an ultimate.
Yeah. I felt quite underwhelmed by that ultimate, given that like the first Elspeth's ultimate really felt like I can't fucking win now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
I think I'm quite glad they've gone away from that on Planeswalkers. I do feel we see a lot less Planeswalkers now where it's like ultimate, you might as well just say I've won the game.
Yeah.
It's ultimate, it's going to be fucking hard to beat me now. But at least it's not an instant I win.
No, exactly. Yeah, I think they have toned it down a bit. Like bloody Nick Bolus Dragon God. Like, if you don't control a legendary permanent, you lose. It's like, fucking hell. All right, then. But yeah.
Go squee.
Yeah. Like, even the Dungeons and Dragons Planeswalker was the Lolf Spider Queen one. I loved that. I thought that was great.
Yes.
But even the new ones, even the newer ones are fairly balanced. But
what I do like on the -3, I heard someone saying about using it to get out smaller planeswalkers.
Oh yeah.
With shield count on them, or also to get out things like Oblivion Ring. So it's like an enchantment that destroys. So it counts as a permanent, so it comes in, and then it destroys one of your opponent's creatures, or like sort of hides it away. But then with a shield count on it, it can't be attacked, so it can't lose the shield count up by like ping damage or anything stupid.
Yeah.
It just means that they've literally got to use 2 removal spells to get rid of it.
That's true. Yeah.
So effectively, it makes like which makes it then pointless to remove, really, unless you've got rid of something really, really good. You wouldn't want to burn 2 spells to get it.
Yeah,
So
I guess.
I thought that might be like a cool way of. I don't know if there's enough in standard to make that work. Because 7's quite deep in a standard deck. If you're playing 60 card.
Yeah.
You should be able to find if you're. But again, whether or not that's even enough, -3 to just take down one of their things. But all that effectively is saying -3, destroy a creature, but it's not even properly destroy. Just make it hard for it to return.
Yeah, I think as you say, I think it's going to synergize well with other permanents that like enchantments or auras that come into. I could see this being played in like a green-white enchantress deck where you do the -3, you get like a nice little aura out, like Shielded by Faith, for instance, that gives your creature indestructible, which is a combo piece in one of my Siona decks, but then it means that the Shielded by Faith can't be targeted. Well, it can be, but you're wasting 2 spells on it. So yeah, that maybe that utilization is better in like the Commander Sphere. I think that would be quite cool, but yeah.
Nice.
Got another alliance creature there, which does loads of things when stuff enters, but you can't choose the thing you have to choose the thing that hasn't been chosen. So
so if you're getting more than 3 creatures in, alliance doesn't do a shit anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
So, we have our friendly Aurabrasque.
Yeah.
The Heretic Praetor, 3 red for a 4/4 haste. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. You may play this card this turn. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, the next time they would draw a card this turn, instead they exile the top card of their library. They may play it this turn. So effectively, you get 1 more impulse draw. Your opponent only gets to impulse draw.
Yeah. So if they're not utilising that draw, they lose the card forever, which is pretty good. And it puts extra pressure on them to make decisions as to what they're actually doing with the card that's being revealed to them, which I think is just playing mind games. But I still think it's a little bit underwhelming in comparison to the Vorinclex and the Jin Cadaxis that we got in the other sets.
I do agree. You can tell why he is the whiny bitch of the Praetor clan.
Yeah. Yeah, and I also don't like the art of this either. It's like it just doesn't. You can't see what he's doing really. I don't really know whether that's me not being familiar with Aurabrasque's art, but it just doesn't look like. Well, you don't know what's going on here really. There's no sort of form or face to it. If that makes sense.
That's always been a problem with Aurabrasque. No one knows really what his face is. Is it a mouth? Is it an eye? Are these 2 things here? Can you see my mouse? Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they jetpacks? What? Why doesn't? Is that what gives him haste? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, he's picked up some steampunk stuff from Kamigawa and just bowling around in his jetpack.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. It obviously nerfs people that are drawing ridiculous amounts of cards because it just means that they have to use them or they lose them.
No, so it only does it to the first card they draw.
Oh, is it?
It's not everyone. It's just the next time they would draw a card. Instead, they exile. So it only does it for their first card. So that first card, okay, they've they sort of use it or lose it. But then if they draw 6 more cards that turn, they've got them. So yeah.
At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, the next time they would draw a card this turn instead. Oh, right, yeah, that's crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was all
Only
cards.
one.
Yeah.
No.
If it was all cards, I reckon it would be decent, but I didn't realise that was the case. That's a shame.
Yeah.
Hey-ho.
Obviously, the one good thing it does is it forces them to use their instants on their own turn. And might possibly mess up people's combat tricks and things.
Yeah.
But I just don't think you're going to get many people. I think it'll be the sort of thing that will probably be good in limited, and that's about it. Saying that, it's going to become the powerhouse of standard, a commander staple, and banned in legacy at this rate, but
yeah,
I don't see it.
We'll see.
What have we got next? Just a couple of vehicles.
Yeah, a couple of vehicles that just do effects. Obviously, nothing we haven't really seen before.
Yeah, bounces creatures, sort of picks them up and puts them down.
Then we got speaking of Oblivion Ring, that's what we've got there on the limousine. Whenever it ends the battle or attacks.
Yeah, but then the idea is when one goes, you can then take something else.
Yeah.
So you can keep sort of just bouncing a couple of things. And it doesn't say it has to be an opponent's one, so you could use it. It's like a little flicker engine for yourself. Not flicker, because it's way slower than flicker.
Yeah.
It's like fucking going to sleep and waking back up again, not flickering.
Yeah. It's like the is it Squid Game where they get in the car and get gassed and they just wake up somewhere else? They get into the mysterious car, they get gassed and they wake up somewhere else. Like, what the fuck's going on? That's what's happening here. The mysterious limousine. You walk in it, you get gassed, you wake up somewhere else.
Perfect.
But yeah. So let's just go straight to Obby B. This is awesome.
Exactly.
King. I think this is going to be great in standard. To be honest, this card.
Yeah. So Obnixion, the adversary, 1 black and red for starting loyalty is 3, and it has casualty X. So therefore, you can sacrifice it says the copy isn't legendary and has starting loyalty X. So when you sacrifice a creature of power X, you just get another Obnixion.
Yeah, which is ludicrous.
For the price of 1 for only 3 mana. 3 mana, 2 planeswalkers.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you Elspeth into Obnixion? Did that work or not?
Yeah.
No, it only puts it onto the battlefield, not cast.
Oh, it's a shame. Never mind.
Because imagine that, if you could bloody Obnixion into Elspeth into Obnixion and then copy it and as a weird Mardu Planeswalker deck.
Yeah.
But the actual abilities are +1, each opponent loses 2 life unless they discard a card, and if you control a demon or a devil, you gain 2 life. -2 is create a 1/1 red devil, when it dies, deals 1 damage to any target. And -7, target player draws 7 cards and loses 7 life.
Nice.
Depending on where you are in the game, it depends whether you target yourself or your opponent there, I guess.
Exactly, that's ridiculous. So much good stuff on there. Yeah, I absolutely love it. I think it's going to be great. And it also alludes to what I've built in the past is a demon sort of Rakdos deck in the Kaldheim when the Kaldheim was, I think it is still active at the moment. But this is going to get me grinding arena again for this exact build here. Demon Devil Tribal with 4 of these. Well, maybe 4, 3. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. I absolutely love it. It's fantastic. And as you say there, the target player draws 7 cards, loses 7 life. You can either use as a finisher or to accelerate you drawing cards and finding an answer to something.
I think it's quite versatile for only 3 mana, but Obnixion is meant to be like a destroyer of worlds. He shouldn't be a 3 mana planeswalker. He should be like 6 mana planeswalker that's fucking hard hitting.
Yeah.
And beastly. I just feel this does Obnix bad.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great card mechanically, and obviously it looks cool as a piece of art in there. But I think like you're right. It's not Obnixion. Obnixion has been mono black for all of his lifetime, and suddenly he's now black and red, and he costs 3 to play. Would have been better to see just mono black sort of thing going on, but that's a shame. But hey ho.
So, we said in the story about Obnixion coming. Why is he here?
Yeah.
what's his goal and stuff. Somewhere in this set, I hope we'll find it in a minute. There's some flavor text, and it basically says that Obnixion hasn't tried destroying a world for millennia. What the fuck has he been doing then? I just don't get it. Like, and again, we spoke. That whole story took place in a matter of weeks. In a matter of weeks, Elspeth managed to infiltrate. Well, took on and lost many jobs, infiltrate 2 crime families, steal an angel, find the solution to Halo, bump into Vivian, all this shit in a couple of weeks. Obnixion had thousands of years and is just doing what? Piss-assing about.
Just pissing around and just putting suits on, even though he's got massive wings. So you have to he has to tailor-make his suit to fit his wings in.
Yeah.
Because, ridiculous.
No idea.
Why is he wearing a suit? I don't know. Yeah.
Well,
strange. Cool card. Strange choice though.
He would not last on RuPaul's runway.
He would not. No. Fortunately, those wings just get in the way, wouldn't they? Fortunately. Yeah. He's not.
Should go on up.
Yep.
So.
So murder comes back. We got Strangle, which is like a lightning bolt for creatures and planeswalkers.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's a sorcery, which is big downside.
Yeah, true.
Downside.
Yeah.
Like, well, I don't know what's worse. I don't know if I'd rather have this be instant. No. Yeah, be an instant or could go face. But I just feel the fact that it's neither makes it so much worse.
Yeah, it needs to be instant speed. Yeah, you're right, definitely. Vivian just randomly on the plane.
Hey, she ain't there randomly.
Is she not?
She has befriended Tezzeret and Aurabrasque for no fucking reason. Lovely stuff. She's trying to find a world where the city life and the country life come together nicely. And for some reason she thought New Capenna might be the one.
Might be the one, yeah.
But I don't think it is for her. But 6 mana, starting loyalty of 4. So, and +2, you may sacrifice a creature, search your library for a creature card with mana value equal to 1 plus the sacrifice creature's mana value, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle.
Oh, bloody hell. More of these effects, yeah? In standard, great.
Yeah.
Birthing pod effects.
Exactly. But again, it has to be exactly 1 plus, not up to 1 plus.
Yeah.
So if you sacrifice a 5 mana creature, you have to find the 6 mana creature.
Okay.
And then +1 is mill 5 cards, then put any number of creature cards milled this way into your hand. So quite a good way to just draw a load of creatures.
Yep.
And then -1, create a 4/4 green Rhino Warrior creature token. So no finisher, no like ultimate. Just basically keeps ticking up and up and up, getting you more value, getting you more creatures.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seems like my sort of card.
Yeah. Yeah, just a little bit of engine, creature, filterer, make creatures, and then sack them to go get bigger creatures. It's just green all over it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's pretty much all we have to say about that, I reckon.
Yeah, like I said, I think there's always a good line you can build. There's always a really nice curve you can build with those sorts of birthing pod decks.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I hope there is a fun one in standard. Next, bird enters battlefield. Target opponent reveals their hand. Choose an artifact, instant, or sorcery, and exile it.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's 2/1 flyer. This is all right. It's just going to be a good little limited card. Lovely.
Yeah, nice little limited card. Good point. I like these lands as budget alternatives to obviously the guild gates, because they aren't tapped like the guild gates do, but they have a nice little ability on there which just strictly makes them a better version to use if you are running budget lands or 4/ofs in cheaper arena decks or what have you. So you can just cash them in if you got nothing else to do. You can cash them in for 4 mana.
Yeah, 4 mana, draw a card on all of them.
Yeah.
And it's all the allied colours. Yeah,
awesome artwork as well.
Variants.
Yeah. Love the artwork on it. Waterfront District's my favourite.
Yeah, that one is really good.
It's pure steampunky sort of style. Yeah, like that. Cool. Yeah, so pretty good.
Here's an example of that alliance I was talking about earlier.
Oh yeah.
So it has whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, scry one. If it's the second time this ability resolves its turn, draw a card instead.
Yeah.
So you just get that little bonus for the second time it goes. But it does mean that the third time you just go back to only scrying again. I wish it was like if this was beyond the first. So maybe like the first one you scry, but then second, third, fourth you all just get to draw. Maybe that's too good, but because then you just play a lot of tokens and you get millions of cards. But
no, that's right. Yeah, I mean it's capped it from being too ridiculous, I guess. But you can still get some sort of value if you are churning out loads and loads of creatures. You still get to scry and put that to the bottom if you don't want. So you're effectively still drawing cards, just not getting them to hand straight away. But yeah, it's just a nice little way of rewarding creatures entering for mono white or white decks. So white needs more card draw. Here it is for what it, I guess, does quite well.
Yeah. Yeah, like I say, it's good point. It's a very good card draw for white.
Yeah. An offer you can't refuse is quite nice. 1 blue for an instant counter target non-creature spell. Its controller creates 2 treasure tokens. So, yeah, this is pretty good. The fact it costs 1 to simply just say no to something horrible and giving them 2 treasure tokens, which means they can ramp it to something else, but it's probably not going to be at that precise moment in time. It's not going to be as bad as what you have countered, basically.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good in Commander.
Yeah.
I feel like in Standard this is a big This is like a big trap. First of all, isn't like what's it? The normal just counter target non-creature spell is just 2 mana, isn't it? So you're saving 1 mana to give your opponent 2 treasures.
Yeah, that's right.
I feel that's a bad trade.
Yeah, especially if the set has sacrifice benefits as well. You're actually giving them that synergy as well, which is a bit shit.
Yeah, if there's anything that says like when you sacrifice something, gain.
Yeah. Yeah. At first glance, I thought it was quite good, but maybe not then. Yeah, because if you want to counter a non-creature spell, negate is just obviously cost 1 extra.
That's it. Negate. That's exactly the one I was thinking of. Thank you.
Yeah, so my magic knowledge is still there after all these years.
He's got it. In my head, I think it was Spell Pierce, and I thought that's definitely not that. It's even worse.
Yeah. This is why I do a Magic the Gathering podcast, and this is why we're starting up again, because my knowledge is still there. You know, Flesh and Blood is still very fresh, so I wouldn't be able to really do a podcast on it. But yeah, it's just still where all the knowledge is at the moment. But yeah, that's what 20 years of the game will do to you. It's been out for so long, isn't it, this game? So...
Yeah.
Cool.
More bad burn spells.
More bad burn spells with casualty, obviously, into the set. Filtering into the set there. Courier's Briefcase. When it enters, you get a 1/1. Sacrifice it, get a mana. Pay everything. Sacrifice it. Draw 3 cards. Yeah, I don't know when are you gonna use that. There's better things to do, isn't there? With 5 mana of Wooburg.
Was Corpse Appraiser in Grixis Maestro. And it's battlefield exile up to 1 target creature card from a graveyard. If a card is put into exile this way, look at the top 3 cards of your library, and then put 1 of those cards into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. So,
okay, yeah.
3 mana, 3/3 to draw a card.
Yeah, doesn't seem great. Maestros Theatre. When it enters, you may sacrifice it. When you do, search for a basic island, swamp, mountain, put it into battlefield, tap, and gain 1 life. So, what's comparable to that? Terramorphic Expanse, I guess, but just for your
Yeah, only the 3 colours in their not guild, whatever they're called, family colours, and you gain a life. But it does have then the downside that it happens straight away. As soon as it enters, you sacrifice it.
Yeah.
Which I can only assume is like to make Arena more playable. Because at the moment, if you have like an Evolving Wilds on the field, it stops on every single possible stop, asking you, do you want to sacrifice your Evolving Wilds yet? And you're like, I don't really want to, just...
That's true.
Because there's... People like to go, there's a very small advantage to playing it sort of as late as possible, like sacking your lands on your opponent's up end step sort of thing, but...
That's right, yeah. And
it just then causes a delay.
Yeah. Another good thing about this as well is that the landfall decks will like it, because obviously you get 2 land drops off of 1 card.
Yeah.
But
again, you have to have 2 land drops there and then. You can't play with them.
Yeah, well, it's just for landfall triggers. You play this, you get a landfall trigger from something. You obviously then have to sack it, go get another land, get another landfall trigger. I guess they might want to think about those cards, but no, probably not actually. I'm just talking crap. What's Andrew saying? Grixis Panorama. That's basically what it is.
Yes, yeah, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so I think with that you pay 1 and tap it, don't you, to get the thing?
I think so. Yeah.
But yeah, that's fair enough. What are these? Illicit Shipment is a tutor for 5, but you can casualty it, so you can copy it if you casualty something of power 3 or more.
Yeah. Wish there was a good, like Shark Typhoon. This would be amazing with Shark Typhoon in Standard. Because you can just get... Because the stuff like Shark Typhoon, this acts as like your 5th to 8th copy of it. So, in your deck. But then also, if you already have it out, all it does is read as like 5 mana, create a 5/5 Shark, and go search your library for something else again.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it could be pretty good. That's still around as well, isn't it? Oh, no, it's not.
No, that's been and gone now.
That's gone now, yeah. Thank God.
Probably for the best, to be honest. It was quite oppressive.
Yeah, it was.
It was a bit too good. But I liked Metallurgic Summonings in Kaladesh, which was like a fairer, nicer version.
Yeah.
That people didn't just want to scream when they saw it.
No. Dig Up the Body isn't really doing much, just manipulating the graveyard and milling things and getting things back to hand, yeah.
The only thing I like on there is it's an instant.
Yeah, that's right.
Like I say, you can use it almost as like to defend your... Like, if something's going to die, you might as well casualty it anyway. And then get it back to hand, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got some Maestro cards.
Got some Maestros.
So we've got the Ascendancy. Once during each of your turns, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from your graveyard by sacrificing a creature, in addition to paying its other costs. If a spell cast is able to go into a graveyard, exile it instead.
Yeah.
So, just repeat stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess, in this sort of Grixis deck, you want to be having, obviously, a lot of spells, but then also he wants you to have creatures as well.
Yeah, so it does feel like a weird mix.
Yeah, bit of a weird mix, but maybe we'll see more Maestro cards that actually do some stuff with that. So the next one here is just Grixis, 3 mana, 1/4 Death Touch Haste. When it attacks, if you don't control a Devil token, you get a Devil token that's attacking, it's a 1/1 Devil that's attacking, and when it dies, it gets 1 damage to any target.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 mana for 2 bodies that are then coming into you straight away. Coming into you, bloody hell. So 3 mana for 2 bodies.
Yeah, it seems like the fact that it's got the Death Touch, and then the other one's got the Death Trigger.
Yeah.
It's sort of repeatable. I feel like there's something to it, but I don't know.
Not going to discover it right now, are we?
No.
And then we got, what's this? So this mana cost of this Evelyn is what was probably alluded to in the teaser, wasn't it? The mana symbols.
Yeah, it said about using existing mana symbols in a unique way.
Yeah.
And I think this is a brand new combination of these weird 3 colours in hybrid. So yeah, this is Vampire Rogue 2/5 for flash. And then whenever it or another vampire enters the battlefield under your control, exile the top card of each player's library with a collection counter on it. Once each turn, you may play a card from exile with a collection counter on it if it was exiled by an ability you controlled. And you may spend mana as though it was any colour to cast it. Why does it matter if it was exiled by an ability I controlled?
Because I guess you can.
I guess it's so your opponents can't, like, if we were both playing Evelyn decks, like, you can't exile my stuff, then I just cast it. I guess that's what that's about.
Yeah, I guess because it has to have. It's not like if you just play a straight up exile spell, you still can't play their things because it has to have a collection counter on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one. There's not enough.
I like it. I love playing stuff off other people's decks. So
Oh yeah,
I'm in. I'm in.
Yeah. There's an interesting argument going around though at the moment is like for instance, why can this design not be a mono black card? Why can you not use this as a mono black commander because of the fact it's got the black in its mana symbols, all of them. I don't know what your thoughts were on it, or what your thoughts were on that, but obviously I think that discussion's been around for a while. Is why can you not use the hybrid as a mono symbol?
Yeah, sort of one or the other. Because thing is, if you're playing with me, Aaron, I'd allow it. If you had this in your mono black deck, fuck, I don't care.
Yeah,
like,
nice.
If as long as it's fun, as long as you're not doing it, like, just be a dick.
Yeah, as long as you're not playing something that costs blue black hybrid, black red hybrid. That's a card that allows you to do things like a custom commander that allows you to cast things from your opponent's hand or something like that. Like Josh's deck or something. Josh's custom commanders.
I don't see why you couldn't just run this in a Rakdos deck, which is basically like 2 black, then black or red.
Yeah.
Like, it still makes it quite like you're limiting. The idea of like the hybrid mana is that if your mana base isn't perfect, you can still cast this. Like, if you've only got one blue source, you can still cast this. But I just feel like, so yeah, I used to be on the side of, oh no, you should only put it in a Grixis deck. But then a couple of years ago, I was like, what does it matter? Like, yeah, like, they are designed that they should, like any other format, that can be played in a mono black deck. So why the fuck can't Commander just join in with everyone else?
Exactly, yeah. And even with this as well, it's got a black mana symbol as one of its symbols. You have to use black for this.
Yeah.
So yeah, why not? But yeah, I mean that's discussion's probably been had quite a bit, but interesting mana symbols on this one. So this next one is one that's just fucking stupid, really. Arcane bombardment. Oh dear. Yeah, it's
read it out there, Aaron.
Yeah, go on then. Red, and 4 for an enchantment, mythic rare, wild cards. Whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery spell each turn, exile an instant or sorcery card at random from your grave, then copy each card exiled with Arcane Bombardment. You may cast them without paying their mana costs for 6 mana. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's random, but still, if you're putting this in a Spell Slinger deck, it doesn't matter because you're just going to be able to copy them every single time, which is just ridiculous, really. A lot of bookkeeping, but still very good.
But just imagine playing this in like just loads of instant burn spells and just absolutely going ham on it. But then I don't know. I just don't know where does it fit. Or like,
no.
Can you use some like weird like reanimate, like almost like spells reanimator, like you discard your spells to the graveyard, then use this to copy them.
Yeah, it seems quite
constantly.
Yeah. If you build around this though, you're asking for trouble because obviously it's just someone's just going to try and remove it, and then you're stuck with all your instants and sorceries in the graveyard. What are you going to do with that? Unless you're playing Kess, of course, which obviously gives everything flashback. I think it's Kess that does that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's very strong. I'm sure people will find some good things to do with it. Citizens obviously appear in the set quite a bit, as we'll probably see. So this is one of them, Maestros Initiate. Nice little citizen card there, not doing much we haven't seen before. Professional Facebreaker is quite good.
Yeah, this is like good in treasure decks, obviously. So 2 and a red, 2/3 human warrior with menace. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a treasure token, and then you can sacrifice a treasure to exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. So yeah, potentially quite good there. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. I've got a feeling this could be like a standard all-star. I've just got a weird feeling that this is going to be just one of those play it on curve red decks, and this just gives you that long, like sort of reach when you're sort of starting to dwindle. It just lets you get the treasure tokens to empty your hand and then start playing off the top.
I think if you have, let's say they're not legendary, which is great. So if you have 3 of these out, whenever a creature hits, you're going to trigger all of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So and they're all menace as well. So obviously, if you were to have quite a few of these out, they're hard to block. And then they just allow you to ramp, which is great in red decks or black and red decks or whatever you're choosing to do. And then you can obviously use this ability and sacrifice a treasure, but you aren't getting the mana from that treasure. You have to sack it a different way.
Yeah.
You have to sack this ability to then play the cards, but then you're seeing more cards, which is good in red. So I think if you're going to play with this, I think you chuck a few of them in, to be honest.
Yeah, like I said, in multiples, it just sort of gets ridiculous, I think.
Yeah. That's cool. Another counter spell, which isn't really worth covering. It's got casualty. Fight rigging.
The next hideaway in green.
Yeah.
So hideaway 5 again for 3 mana. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Then, if you control a creature with power 7 or greater, you may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost.
Yeah.
I saw a few people trying to sort of figure out the quickest way to trigger this. Like, is there a way you can play like a 2 mana creature that's somehow got 6 power? Well, basically a creature with 6 power by turn 2, so that on turn 3 you do this, give it the +1/+1 counter, then it's got 7 power, play your hideaway card. I don't know whether we're living in a fairy world or whether or not.
Yeah.
That's just what I want to be doing for the rest of my life. I don't know which one it is.
Yes. It doesn't seem like it's. It probably do all right when it actually happens, but it's not ridiculously good, is it? Same with this next Grixis one here. Camellia Glamour Thief costs 4 mana for a 2/4 haste. You can pay 1 and tap it to add 3 mana, so you're getting 2 mana back off of that, but you're getting the Grixis colours. Spend this mana only to cast instant or sorcery spells, and when this creature dies, return up to 1 target instant sorcery from your graveyard to your hand. So it's not doing much really, is it?
No, I think just as it is, sort of, it's one of these ones that's like these uncommon commanders. I said like it's sort of just weird build arounds. You can have a bit more fun with them. They're not going to be the sort of winners.
No,
but no doubt good in limited as well.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, definitely good in those formats, but nothing really much else. Cool. What have we got here? We've got a couple of
security rocks. You may pay 2 red and green rather than pay this spell's mana cost. Spend only mana produced by treasures to cast it. Shame. Well, I was going to say this is a 5/4. 5/4 for 2 mana is nearly enough to get fight rigging.
That's right. Yeah.
I thought, wouldn't it? But you'd have to have a turn 1, create 2 treasure tokens card, and I've got a feeling we haven't even pushed treasures that far yet, no matter how much Wizards try
to. So that could be quite good. Little, if there is a load of treasure synergies that you can get going, then you can get a 5/4 out on if you can on turn 2. But I don't think that's going to happen too much.
I think that's a bit too strong.
Yeah.
But the fact that a very low costed 5/4, I'm sure you could do a few tricks with that. I'm sure that there's something in there.
Yeah.
I had a good Gruul deck for a while in Ravnica that played a lot just on the riot mechanic.
Oh yeah.
And I just feel like that. I feel like this sort of thing again is sort of card that it's not a good deck, but I feel like you could have a fun. I'm going to get out big beefy creatures and just see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's always a market for that. I think there's a few of these that have been I think I might have saw the black version of this, the all-seeing arbiter. So I think maybe there might be a cycle of these avatars.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, so there is a black avatar as well,
Okay.
which does something else. But yes, this is a 6 mana blue 4 creature avatar, mythic rare, so potentially a cycle of these. So 5/4 flyer. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, draw 2 cards and discard a card. So yeah, so you get the enter the battlefield trigger on that, and whenever it attacks, you get the thing. And then whenever you discard a card, so this would be on entry or when it attacks, target creature gets -X -0, or target creature and opponent controls gets minus power X until your next turn, where X is a number of different mana values among cards in your graveyard. So
so disappointed, Aaron.
Yeah.
I saw this. I saw 6 mana. I saw blue. I saw non-legendary. And I thought, here comes Jalira's friend. Finally, we've got something.
Here we go.
I can't bother to go through all this just to draw 2 cards and discard a card and give my opponent's creatures -X -0.
Yeah.
That ain't going to get me anywhere.
No, it's not, is it?
So
yeah, giving something minus power is just not really doing much, is it? That's it. What's the sigil do? Choose target creature or planeswalker. If it was dealt non-combat damage, deals 3 damage to it and you gain 3 life. Otherwise, deals 1 damage to it and gain 1 life. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Not much going on.
I know it's only 1 mana, and you can like team it up together to deal 4 damage to something. And I don't know. To me, it just seems bad. Like,
yeah.
Again, it's probably going to be like a good powerhouse in limited or something, but just
if
the fact it hasn't been dealt non-combat damage this turn, it's not like you can even use it as a post-combat to sweep your opponent's like surviving creatures off the board.
No. Yeah, it's more like the Grixis Spellslingers type card. Like if you couple this with the other one that we had earlier, Strangle, that's the 1 red sorcery. Then you play the Grizzly Sigil. You're then doing a total of 7 damage to the opponent's creature or planeswalker, and you're gaining 4 life for 2 mana.
Yeah.
So that line would be good if you've got the 1 red drop sorcery before you play this. But I think they both have casualty as well, so you could potentially copy them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I reckon it's uncommon as well. So probably there is some sort of line in there which is worth using, I expect.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll
Still
see.
going Grixis pingers for sure, but
yeah,
probably shouldn't do.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. I'm gonna play a heck out of this on Arena. I think when this comes out, I reckon. So we'll see.
Yeah, I want to. I've said that about the past couple of sets, to be honest. But this one generally has excited me again.
Yeah, definitely. So not much going on here with these creatures. Cut your losses.
Fairy Vandal's a reprint.
Oh, is it?
Where I think. I'm sure it is. I'm sure that was a reprint, that one.
Yeah, it could be.
Cut your losses, mill half their library rounded down.
Then you could do it again,
6 mana.
Potentially.
Yeah. Then copy it, so they've milled 3/4 of their library.
Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. Standard mill card. I think, join the Maestros. Again, you can sack a creature of power 2 to get 4... you can get 2 4/3s for 5 mana.
Yeah.
I don't know about
it's one of the classic... What these are good for is... decks that care about spells, but then you still get a creature off it so that you can sort of defend your board a bit.
No, that's true. Yeah, sorcery,
like you've got like
creatures.
a spells matter thing. But then the only thing about that is if you're playing a spells matter deck, you then need something that you can casualty to. You need a body to sack. So I feel that's a bit sort of stuck. But
yeah, a bit of a weird one. What else have we got here? Just more impulse draw. When it enters, with this mage, when it enters, you get a 1/1 wizard creature token with pay 1, sacrifices creature, counter target non-creature spell, unless the controller pays 1, so you get like a little mana tithe creature. Which obviously will trigger alliances. The alliance triggers because obviously you got a couple of creatures coming in on one body, which is obviously what white likes to do.
Point. Yeah, it is a 2-for-1, like 3/2, 3/2 and a 1/1 for 3 isn't bad stats. Especially when one of them you can use as some sort of counter spell.
Yeah, that could be quite good in the white decks that care about putting lots of boots on the ground. You can always get a little trigger on the counter target thing. This is nice.
Yeah.
What does this blue-black one do when it enters? Mill 2 cards.
And then it gets bigger and gets lifelink if you've got loads of stuff in the graveyard.
Yeah, okay.
Just fairly. Here's one from Marrow's teaser. Errand Street Artist. And I believe Errand is the daughter of the right-hand man to Xander.
Okay.
So there we are, there's the connection.
There we go.
So Flash Defender Haste. What? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And then you can pay 1 and a blue to tap it and copy target spell you control that wasn't cast. So that was the thing, copy target spell you control that wasn't cast. And obviously at the time, what we didn't realise would be a thing was casualty. So when you cast it, you sack something to copy it. So really, she's just a copier for casualty things.
Yeah, I think we did mention in the last podcast where it says copy target spell you control that wasn't cast. I think we did mention that you could use this on copied spells.
Yeah.
We just didn't know at the time that casualty would allow you to copy spells.
No.
So
And I don't know whether or not we even clicked that there would be mechanics so dedicated to copying spells.
No.
Um,
And that's why I think this set feels so powerful, is the fact that you can get so many 2-for-1s as long as you fulfill the casualty. Which I think is going to be, it's going to be quite a powerful. I think it's going to feel like Eldraine, where it's very powerful. But we'll see.
Yeah.
That's cool though. What else we got here? Yeah, got more impulse.
Some more
impulse draw.
generic sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Evolving Door. I don't recognise that. So, pay 1, tap it, sacrifice creature, count the colours of the sacrifice creature, then search your library for a creature card that's exactly that many colours plus 1. Exile that card, then shuffle. You may cast exiled card. Activate only as a sorcery. So you can sacrifice like a red 1/1, like a little cheap 1 mana goblin, and go and get any 2-colour spell.
Yeah, so you could sacrifice the red devils, the red devils in the set, and then go get your rocks thing, your rock guy, your red-green guy.
Yeah, there's got to be something even better than a rock. There must be something like go and get Niv Mizzet sort of thing. Like it feels like that. It feels like that's a very cheap and easy way to get something very powerful.
Yeah, we have to. The creature that you sacrifice to go get the better creature has to be quite hybrid cost, though, doesn't it? Because if you're sacrificing an Esper creature, it needs to be black, blue, and whatever it is, black, blue, and white, and then you can go.
It doesn't say it has to even contain the same colours. It just says search your library for a creature card that's exactly that many. Exactly that many colours plus 1. Oh, okay, so it does have to be. So if you sack a red creature, it has to go and be a red-black creature or red-green creature or red-white creature. You can't go and sack that to go and get a blue-white creature.
No. So yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. Something about it feels like that should be strong, and there must be something very weird you're meant to be doing with it. In fact, it's only 1 mana that you can sacrifice a 1 mana creature to go and get something so much bigger. If there's like 15 2-colour spells, or I don't know. I just don't know what the biggest 2-colour spell is that's worth chasing for this. Whether or not that's worth doing, or
no, that's the thing.
Pipe dream.
Yeah, it needs to. That's what I mean. It needs to be in order for it to scale. You need to sacrifice a creature with lots of different colours in its cost.
Yeah.
Because you have to count the colours of the sacrificed creature.
And you get to that stuck point where there's very, very few 4-mana creatures. So you can't really sacrifice a 3-mana creature because there's not really any 4-mana creatures to go and find. And then there's not many 4-mana creatures you can sacrifice to go and find a big 5-mana creature. You can't ever it's hard to go and find Progenitus with this.
Yeah.
But, effectively, what it wants you to do is upgrade colourless to 1-colour creatures, I guess. 1 to 2, 2 to 3 is sort of the range it's looking for.
Yeah, that's it.
I just don't know what's big enough and strong enough and worth doing enough in that situation.
Very, very special, unique, that one. Andrew saying sack an Eldrazi spawn and get any monocolor critter. So will that work? Sacrifice a creature, count the colours of the sacrificed creature, but they're colourless, though, aren't they?
Yeah, so you get no colours. Then you get exactly that many colours plus 1. So I think it's 0 plus 1. So I think it would work. I think, as Andrew says, it would work.
Yeah.
But that's the route to go.
Yeah. So you're sacking Eldrazi to go get. Search your library for a creature card that's exactly that many colours plus 1. So if you sack a Eldrazi spawn, you can go and get Crater Hoof because it's a green card.
Exactly.
Is that right? I don't know.
And you do get to, wait. We've just, you may cast the exile card. You don't get it for free, Aaron.
Oh no, you don't get it for free. No.
Oh, well, this is bullshit. Then I've wasted everyone's time there. I thought you were getting it for free this whole time.
Reading the card explains the card.
No, effectively you're just paying 1 more mana, sacrificing a creature to go and find what you want at the time.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Right. Let's move on.
Yeah. The little ones there, the little cards there, it's just a reanimation spell, and then giving something first strike and lifelink when it attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing too ridiculous. Anything unique here?
Oh, Witness Protection seems quite. So for only 1 mana, 1 blue mana, enchanted creature loses all abilities and is a green-white citizen creature of base power and toughness 1/1 named Legitimate Business Person. Which is just
That's
great
just funny.
bit of,
yeah.
But I swear normally those abilities cost more than that. I swear normally they're quite expensive, or have I sort of misremembered?
So stuff like Imprisoned in the Moon turns stuff into a land.
Where it just sort of turns it into something. And the fact that it gets rid of all its powers.
I think it's a good rate. Yeah. It's good.
I think it's basically removal in blue.
It's like very akin to like rapid hybridization and Pongify. But
exactly, But you only get one. Doesn't Pongify get them a 3/3?
Yeah.
Which at least is something that you have to be you have to consider. Whereas this just being a 1/1, who cares?
Exactly. So nice little aura there that you can play from the graveyard by paying its alternative cost, which is quite nice, but nothing too ridiculous. Pyre Sledge Arsonist, nice little Vicino coming back.
Yes.
And pretty nice little effect here. Pay 1 and tap it. It deals X damage to any target where X is number of permanents you sacrifice this turn. So that could be quite good if you're sacking a lot of things due to casualty or EDH shenanigans or what have you.
Or just treasures.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. Treasures. Eldrazi spawn.
Make treasures, sack them,
and then
use this.
Burn someone to the down. Suspicious Bookcase gets a reprint.
Lovely.
Exotic
Pets. That was one of Maro's saying about creating 1/1 blue fish creature tokens that can't be blocked. So I was hoping obviously that'd be mono blue. It's not. It's white and blue. But it does say for each kind of counter among creatures you control, put a counter of that kind on either of those tokens. So the fish can also get like lifelink or +1/+1 or
whatever it wants.
Yeah. So I don't know whether how big you can end up making that for each kind of counter. Yeah, so like I was thinking then if you had like 100 creatures with +1/+1 counters, can you put them all onto these? But no, you still only get 1.
Yeah.
But effectively you can get it to be lifelink, menace, death touch, indestructible, everything. But they're just 1/1s that can't be blocked. So most of them things don't matter. So they can't be blocked. It doesn't matter if it's got trample, death touch. Lifelink obviously does matter. Menace. Those ones don't matter. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's a nice cute little card, isn't it?
Yes.
Forge Boss, it's okay. It does something when you
Here we
sack.
are. This is the power. This is the payoff, isn't it? Whenever you sacrifice 1 or more other creatures, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. Oh, it only triggers once each turn.
Exactly. Yeah, so much more better things. unfortunately.
It was nearly good, and also the fact that it had to be other creatures. The fact that it doesn't work with treasures and other sort of shenanigans. But yeah, only once each turn suddenly turns out into fucking garbage.
Yeah. No, that's it.
We move on.
So there's something that Troy was speaking about for his Skullbriar deck. Is this mythic equipment here?
Yes, Luxior, Giarda's gift.
Yeah.
So one mana equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each counter on it. Equipped permanent isn't a planeswalker and is a creature in addition to its other types. Then you can equip it to a planeswalker for 1 or equip it to a normal creature for 3.
Yeah.
So obviously, yeah, Troy was saying like, go your +1/+1 counters on Skullbriar, then equip this, and it just doubles it. Just doubles the size of Skullbriar.
Straight out, yeah. But
it's a bit weird that Luxior doesn't specify on there that the Planeswalker sort of becomes a 0/0 creature, because apparently under the current rules, as it is, this card basically does nothing to Planeswalkers, which obviously isn't the point of it. It obviously is going to work, so they are going to have like an additional rules element to the card that's just not printed.
Well, it
So
says,
it's just
yeah,
weird.
yeah. I mean, it just says at the bottom there, it says equipped to a planeswalker for 1,
Yeah,
and then it says equipped permanent isn't a planeswalker and is a creature in addition to its other types.
yeah. So it just becomes a creature, but with no power toughness and no. It just sort of doesn't work apparently under the rules, but it will work. And it will work exactly as you think. Like, and I guess that's why they've worded it like this. They've decided that it works as you'd expect, and they will have a rules clarification when the set comes out.
Yeah, because obviously it will get +1/+1 for all of the loyalty counters that are already on the planeswalker, won't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, makes sense, but maybe it's not printed correctly. That's cool though. Yeah. More
I
life.
quite like the look of this vampire. Whenever you gain life, during your turn specifically, put +1/+1 counter on it. Whenever you lose life during your turn, put +1/+1 counter on it. So, don't think you've seen anything quite like that before. Whenever you gain or lose life, it gets bigger.
Yeah, and it's just messing around with your life total on your own turn. Yeah, so yeah, it could be quite good. Flyer as well. Costs 5 though, so it's quite a lot. Maybe there's a payoff for it later. What does this one do?
It is flying though, so I think
Oh yeah,
it wouldn't take long for it is a big finisher.
yeah,
You don't have
true.
to get flyers that big, like especially like a normal like 20 life format.
That's right. Up to 1 target creature has base power and toughness 1/1 turn of turn. Up to 1 other target creature has base power per 4/4. Then it deal 3 damage to each creature. Okay, that's
So
it's a kill spell.
yeah, it's a bit weird. So you save something of yours that's small, and you kill something of your opponents that would ordinarily survive, and then just sort of wipe out all the small creatures on the field, leaving just the big stuff hanging around.
Yeah.
So I feel there's quite a few hoops there. Like, I just feel like sometimes you're going to have that in hand, and the board state's just not going to be good for you to cast it.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, I don't really want to do it because it won't do enough. It won't take out the things you want it to take out.
No, yeah, bit of a weird one. I'd rather not something else. So Shovel Knight. Yeah, there we go.
Got the shovel. Ceremonial Groundbreaker. 1 green and white, the same as the infamous Loxodon Warhammer.
Yep.
But in this case, it just gets +2/+1 and has trample, and you can equip to a citizen for only 1 mana, or equip for 3 mana to anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all right.
It's a shovel.
It's a shovel,
A shovel that gives you +2/+1 trample.
Yeah, and obviously it's just got that sort of vibe to it, like the citizens in arms of pitchforks. Obviously, you got this instead of a pitchfork, it's a spade. So yeah, it's got that nice little feel to it, but yeah, not much going on really.
No. Maybe this is it. Maybe citizen is the draft archetype.
Yeah, maybe it is. Yeah.
Because there's just random citizen. There's lots of like random spells to just create a 1/1 citizen. So yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe it's like a secret citizen sub theme.
Yeah, most likely. That could be it. Arc Spitter, what's that doing? Quick creature has 1. This creature does 1 damage. Target creature is blocking it. Okay.
Yeah, it's right. I think it's just going to be like a great limited card.
Yeah.
Oh! I'm fresh out of Mercy today. Why don't you ask Sparky here for forgiveness? I thought it was referencing Sparky on Arena. I thought we were finally finding out what Sparky means. And this was like a big subplot to this whole Phyrexian thing. Actually, Sparky meant something. No, it's just a joke about.
It's just a throwaway.
Something funny.
Yeah. What is interesting is that it's just pay 1. This creature deals 1 damage. So if you have a load of spare mana, you can pump it into the Arc Spitter to deal something a lot more damage than what your creature would initially be able to deal back to it in combat.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's okay, I guess. But
yeah, I think it is going to be a good card. But I just don't see a home for it anywhere in like standard. I just don't feel like that sort of card is good in standard. But I think it would be. I think it will be quite a house in limited.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a bit of a deterrent for blocks, because obviously if you're attacking with someone that's got the Arc Spitter, if they then block with a key creature, you can just pump loads of mana into it to blow it up with this. Or if they're attacking with key creatures, they can be like, oh right, okay, well they can just block and Arc Spitter me to death with this creature I'm attacking. So yeah, it gives you that decision, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah. Ideally, want to equip it to something with trample.
Yeah.
So that basically it just means if they try and block the trample, you just blow it away anyway.
Yeah.
Trample over.
This is a punishing thing, isn't it? This next one.
Yeah, I don't fully understand why you'd want it. So it's 2 mana 2/2 at the beginning of your upkeep. Black Market Tycoon deals 2 damage to you for each treasure you control. Then tap to create a treasure token. So I guess is it just tap to create a treasure token is good rate, constantly token regeneration, but you can't really store it up for a big payday win sort of one. You need to be using it every turn.
Yeah, I mean it's either or, isn't it? You can either get this out for a 2-drop, and then create a treasure to ramp you next turn, but take 2 damage. You can keep doing that. You can keep storing it, but it's going to deal you damage, or you can just use it there and then for getting ahead of the curve, I guess. But you can have the option to, and also it's going to synergize with any sacrifice triggers. It's not just a mana dork; it does sacrifice with sacrifice triggers because it creates treasures.
Yeah. Like I think it will. It's like it's sort of doing a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good that like they've made it powerful. It's got a good drawback to force you from getting sort of stupid with it.
Yeah, exactly. What we got?
So the story was wrong.
Right.
There's angels,
but there's no platinum angels.
No platinum angel.
Oh, we haven't seen the artifact angel yet, have we? I don't think.
No, it comes up a bit later, I think. But yeah, whenever you attack one or more creatures with counters on them, draw a card. Fantastic. But why the fuck's an angel here? They're meant to be dead.
Yeah, weird. Bit strange.
Unless this is like... obviously, we are just on New Capenna. That's not... They have angels may not be on Capenna today, but that's what angels were like when they were here.
Yeah.
However many years ago, which it's in some things seem to suggest it might be 20 years ago. Other things suggest it was 20,000 years ago. Fuck knows when the angels were about.
Yeah. We've got a couple of other things on this on this page here. Each player controls a multicolored creature, draws a card, then destroy all creatures.
Yeah.
So.
Quite a good board wipe for 4 mana.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a Wrath of God, but basically you're giving someone a card draw in most cases.
Yeah. And I guess I don't know if this would be sort of designed to punish like mono red decks, mono white decks, designed to punish decks that are very linear.
Yeah, very one-dimensional.
Card. Yeah.
One-dimensional aggro decks. You can just be like, no, see you later. Your whole board state goes, and I draw a card, and you don't. Which is nice. What does this one do in the Korean?
I do not know. So 6 mana, 4/5. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to each opponent, and you scry 2. You can pay 2 and exile it from your hand. Target land gains tap to add blue, black, or red for as long as it remains exiled, and then you may cast the card from exile. They could be pretty good in in limited again. Again, another limited powerhouse in that you early in the game just pay 2 for mana fixing.
Yeah.
It doesn't obviously ramp you any mana, but just mana fixing. Then late in the game, bam, 6 mana to get a big body, deal some damage, get a bit of card filter. And I think this is part of like a cycle. I think I've seen more of these ones.
Yeah.
So
that's an interesting effect that we haven't seen that before, so that's quite cool.
No. Yeah, a nice ability, I think.
Yeah.
Right, I think I'll go right back to the bottom to get to page 1 again now.
Cool. So yeah, we've gone through the first page. I think there's another one, so we'll try and skim through it a bit quicker. But yeah, there's still adding these.
There's a lot of just randoms like this, just sort of random commons and uncommons now that don't really need to be sort of mentioned. What's this brass knuckles? When you cast a spell, copy it. I guess you need 2 brass knuckles.
You do, yeah, that's right.
Equipped creature has double strike as long as 2 or more equipment are attached to it, and it's got equip of 1. So it doesn't do anything by itself, but as soon as it's paired with more equipment, it gives it double strike.
Costs 4 though, so I think I'd rather just have. Well, I don't know actually. I think I'd rather just have that Fire Shrieker, the old one that just says equipped creature has double strike.
Yeah.
Unless you care about things getting copied. Yeah, I don't know. Weird.
Yeah. I think there will be home for it. If you can find a good like equipment mats deck, I think this could be quite good.
Yeah.
The fact that the equip cost is only 1, you get 2 of them. I think there is something there. I don't know what.
Interesting, just stompy creature there. Whenever you attack, double target creature's power at the end of turn. Can be a commander. Can just be a bit of a jank fun deck.
Yeah, again, it's another one of these uncommon, cool, funny build arounds.
Yeah.
It's what I'm here for.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we like. Then you've got the Ascendancy for the Riveteers.
So yes, that's whenever you sack a creature, return target creature card with lesser mana value from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Do it only once each turn.
That's good.
That's a good payoff. That's where you want this whole sacrificing thing on it. It's annoying it's got to be lesser mana value, but it's just top it getting sort of absolutely mental.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I think that's quite a good. Finally, that's some sort of payoff that might be worth going for.
Yeah.
Especially if compare something like instant speed sacrificing stuff.
Definitely. Spite for reposition. What's this do? When it deals damage to each opponent who controls more lands than you, equal to the difference. Then you create a number of treasure tokens equal to damage that's dealt this way. So 5 mana, 1 red, and 4 for a sorcery. It does that. Yeah, I guess it just balances it out if you're playing against ridiculous ramp decks.
Yeah. So this is a from the commander set. That's not going to be in standard or draft. It's just in the commander set. But yeah, I think it could be a good way, like you say, of sort of taking down some of the big ramp decks.
Exactly. So yeah, we've got a couple of commander cards filtered into these.
Oh yeah.
Into these ones at the top here, so it just goes to show that there isn't really any sort of schedule or plan with spoiling cards anymore. It's just stuff's just getting leaked left, right, and centre. So yeah, we're just going to cover it as it comes up on here week on week. But yeah, and again, alluding to that, these are a couple of legendary creatures here. So you've got a mono black one, so 3/2 legendary creature, vampire assassin. Whenever a creature of an opponent controls dies, exile it with a hit counter on it. It's quite good. And then assassins, mercenaries, and rogues you control have death touch. And whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you may remove a hit counter from it, from a card that player owns in exile. If you do, draw a card and create 2 treasure tokens. That's awesome. Well, I really like the flavour of that. Assassins, mercenaries, and rogues you control.
Yeah, that does seem like quite fun.
Yeah. And the fact that they're printing that in a commander set will also hint to the fact that there probably is going to be assassins, mercenaries, and rogues in that particular deck, or coming in the future. Because we're going back to the Baldur's Gate for the next commander set, which is Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think that's going to be that's a major one. So I think Baldur's Gate as well is known for like Thieves Guild and stuff. So we're going to see a lot more rogues and stuff, I reckon. So that's good. So that's exciting.
Yeah, that should be good.
Then what's this Jund one do?
So Vazi Keen Negotiator, 2 black, red, and green for 3/3 with haste. Tap it. Target opponent creates X treasure tokens, where X is the number of treasure tokens you created this turn. Whenever an opponent casts a spell or activates its ability, if mana from a treasure was spent to cast it or activate it, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, then draw a card.
Bloody hell.
So, Jund politics?
Yeah, sounds like it. Just Jund treasure.
Yeah. They are going really leaning into the treasure stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, it works, doesn't it? Because obviously Jund is a lot of sacrifice, and treasures do work with that mechanic, because you have to sack them to get the thing, so I guess it makes sense. So yeah, that's quite cool. But I'm sure
I like the flavour of this next one, Boxing Ring.
Yeah.
So it's just 1 and a green for an artifact. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control of the same mana value. Then you can tap it to create a treasure token, because we can't have enough treasure tokens. Activate only if you control a creature that fought this turn. So you get a prize.
Yeah.
If your fighter wins.
But it has to fight.
Yeah, obviously,
it has to fight something with the same mana value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, the idea being that green creatures are bigger, they're stronger.
True.
They're better at fighting, so they will win the fights.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think. Yeah, I think it's perfectly flavoured. Well done, Watsy.
Andrew's saying Jund politics as well. Yeah. And I thought Jund just punch people in the face to get what they want. That makes sense.
But now they like to have treasures to do the punching for
Take
them.
rewards for their punching. Cool. Yeah, it's a couple of unique cards there. Looking forward to seeing that. What else you got here? Just more stuff that we've seen prior. And another Vaishino warrior. Well, another Vaishino. We haven't seen many of those, or Viashino, however you want to pronounce it. With the Blitz mechanic tacked on.
So Blitz, and then whenever it deals damage to a player, look at the top card of your library. You may play a land from the top of your library, or cast a spell with mana value less than or equal to the damage dealt from the top of your... You can... There should be like a comma there, I think. Yeah, Jeez. So basically, if you... without paying its mana cost, if you don't put that card into your hand. So basically, if you deal more damage than the mana cost, you can play it for free. If it costs more than that, it just goes to your hand.
Wow, yeah, it's a lot of text there.
Yeah, but again, it stops things getting too silly.
Yeah.
Just
cool. Speaking of the devils and stuff, we got another devil warrior here. So another thing with menace 1/2. When it attacks, target creature gets +1/+0 at the end of turn. Obviously, you can blitz it out as well. So that's cool. Nice seeing more devils coming into play. What do these other things do?
So this war chief is a lot like our old friend Thragtusk. 5 mana, 5/3.
Oh yes.
Trample. When it enters the battlefield, gain 3 life. When it dies, create a 4/4 green rhino warrior token, and it can blitz for 6. So you can like sort of force it to do it all in one turn for 6 mana, or do it at your own pace for 5.
Yeah, that's quite cool. He's got the option there for paying it for 5 or 6, which is quite nice. This next one reminds me of the cards of old, Reservoir Kraken. It's costs 4, so blue and 2 for a 6/6 trample ward with 2. So yeah, that stat block is pretty good with the keywords there as well. But it says at the beginning of each combat, if Reservoir Kraken is untapped, an opponent may tap an untapped creature they control. If they do, tap it and create a 1/1 blue fish with this creature can't be blocked. So they can hold back the Kraken for a while, but if they do, they create these 1/1 unblockable fishes or fish. Fish and fish is the plural and the singular, so minor English there.
Much like sheep.
Much like sheep, yes. Yeah, so they're creating a board state for holding back the Kraken, which obviously cannot be blocked in the long run. So I think that's quite cool.
Did someone say Jalira?
Absolutely, yeah. That sounds like a great Jalira card.
It's going to be yes. That's going straight in there.
Yeah.
What I like most about it is how long it will take to do anything in Jalira. It'll be such a long process.
Nice drawn out.
It's almost like it's not worth it. So.
Yeah, another thing with this as well is if you play it in Jalira, they'll just be like, nah, you can have your Kraken untapped. You're not generating any fish, mate.
Exactly. Yeah. And also, who cares? It's a 6/6.
Yeah, 6/6 trample ward in Commander for 4. Yeah, all right then.
Yeah. Fair point. That could actually be quite good in standard, is it not? Just 4 mana 6/6 trample ward 2. That by itself is good. I know that it's then the drawback, but I think the drawback of then you getting more 1/1s that are unblockable. I don't know. Maybe there is a deck, maybe like a blue tempo style sort of thing. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess because if you play green and blue or some other concoction of cards that buff your whole team, you can make some ridiculous plays there, and then your opponent has to think, oh right, do I just let the Kraken remain untapped, or do I let him or her make a bloody army of fish? So yeah, interesting one. What else we got?
So we've got the Viashinu Legend. 3/3 haste. Whenever a creature you control with haste attacks, create a treasure token. Because let's have more treasure.
Yeah, so just a Jundy, hasty, rampy, smash facey. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Cool, yeah.
Just a decoy.
Nothing going on there. Blitz mechanic must be blocked. Okay.
Yeah. Obviously good as like finishers. If you have got like a good go wide deck, you just play the decoy. They've got to block the decoy. One of them must be blocked. I was thinking it's one of the ones where everything's got to block it if it's able, but it's not. It's only one.
Yeah,
so...
it's only one. Yeah.
Bullshit. Fuck that. Another fucking angel. Don't even look at it, Aaron. It shouldn't be there.
No, just tap something. Yeah, no good. Anything unique here? When it enters, you get 2+1/+1 counters on target creature. No. Gain control of target creature instead of turn. Gains haste. Create a treasure token. So I guess that's strictly better than... Well, no, Act of Treason normally costs 3, doesn't it?
Yeah. So it's one more, but you get that 1 mana back.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
So,
Rogue's Gallery. For each colour, return up to 1 target creature of that colour to engrave to your hand. Yeah, I guess just return.
Is that actually mono-colour then? I guess.
For each colour, return up to 1 creature of that colour. I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like you can like put the green and red together to get back 1 green-red card. It's...
Yeah, so once you've chosen the green-red, that's it. You can't get that again. You can't get green or red again. Yeah. When it attacks, you may tap another citizen.
It's only a common. You can't expect too much from it.
No.
But again, just more proof of the citizen
draft.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's his stockpile do?
Yeah. It's a 3 mana artifact treasure. Tap to add red. Put a stash counter on glittering stockpile. Tap it and sacrifice it. Add X mana of any one colour where X is the number of stash counters on glittering stockpile. I like that you get the red mana and put the stash counter on. I found that these things normally you can have the mana now, or you can add to like the bank. It's not often I feel that you get both. So I think that does have legs somewhere.
Yeah, I think that's a decent mana rock. I think I'd rather run that than like the 2 drops that give you 1. I think this is better because you could just cash it in at a later stage to get loads back.
Yeah.
What does Corpse Explosion do? Anything interesting?
Where's that?
The one that's
Where?
the one Japanese one.
Right.
Uh,
as an additional cost, exile a creature card from your graveyard. So finally something got some reason to be sacrificing everything.
Yep.
And it deals damage equal to the exiled card's power to each creature and planeswalker. So a 3-mana Wrath, depending on how big your graveyard is, or how big something is in your graveyard.
Yeah, that could be quite good.
Yeah.
So if you're fueling your graveyard with big things, with like Zeotoro, the big Jund Dragon, wants to chuck big power things at people, you can then play this and wrath people, so that's quite good. We've got more Japanese cards. Are they unique?
This is the Hideaway one.
Oh, yeah.
So whenever Hideaway 5 in red, whenever you cast a multicolor spell, create a treasure token, then you may pay Wooburg. If you do, you may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost. So you've still got to pay 5 mana to get this exiled card.
Yep. That's alright.
I think that's the weakest of the Hideaways we've seen so far.
Yeah, I think so.
What's this doing? This is just good art. This is good art. 3 red for a 4/4 ogre. Whenever it attacks, create 1/1 devil tapped and attacking. When it dies, it deals 1 damage to any target.
Yeah, so there's a lot of little devil creators, which obviously works with stuff that cares about stuff coming in, sacrificing it. You sacrifice a devil, it pings something, you get your sacrifice triggers, and blah blah blah. So yeah, nice. On theme with what's going on. A lot of foreign cards.
4/2 haste. When it dies, make a treasure. Oh, has indestructible as long as it enters the battlefield this turn.
Okay, yeah.
Lovely.
Nice.
6/6 for 6. When it enters the battlefield, choose 1. Destroy an artifact, destroy an enchantment, exile and a card in
from
the
graveyard. Game for life.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, we can speak Italian now, or whatever that is.
Spanish, that is.
Is it? There we are then.
Yeah. There we are. We've passed Spanish GCSE.
We've passed it, yeah. A+.
Cement boots.
Zapatos de Cemento.
Yeah.
So creature equipped gets +3/+3 and this is a hard one. El comienzo de tu pasal final. What's that?
At the end of turn, sacrifice this creature.
Gira est creature.
Then the creature equipped. I don't know something. Return it to your control. Let's actually read it in English. Equipped creature gets +3. At the beginning of your end step, tap creature. Equipped creature doesn't untap control during its controller's untapped step. And it's only an equip cost of 2. I feel like that's cheap enough to keep moving it around during your turn and messing about with it.
Yeah, I think so. I think that could be I think that could be underrated. Potentially.
A 4/1 that does something.
Yeah.
A Disdainful Stroke. A reprint there.
Hold for ransom. Enchanted creature can't attack or block and has pay 7. Hold for ransom. Controller sacrifice it and draws a card. Okay. That's interesting. Nice little flavour mechanic there. Holding it for ransom, paying the bounty to get your kidnapped thing back, which I think is quite nice.
Yeah.
Nice little flavour win. But yeah. Cool. What else we got? Additional cost to cast it, discard, draw 2 cards and create 2 treasures. Similar to Pirate's Pillage, that one.
Yeah.
In Ixalan.
I think costing 4. I think it's just quite high costed. You do get 2 cards, 2 treasures. I just feel it's I don't know if it's just a bit too big.
Yeah, instant, but yeah, too big probably. What's this? A raccoon citizen, which gained double strike.
Double strike.
Yeah, nothing going on there apart from the fact that it's a raccoon. Just thought it worth pointing out the fact that
just for those who are unfamiliar with their local animals, that is a raccoon.
That is a raccoon. What else we got here then? Some more conniving stuff.
And when it dies, it can take another creature with it.
Yeah.
I think that's a cool little ability for assassins to have. That should be like a classic assassin ability, actually.
But when it dies,
when it dies, it can take something down with it, sort of thing.
Yeah, it could be. I reckon it should be -X as well, like this one's doing. So then it's actually killing things, even if they're indestructible. What else we got here? Now this.
Which one were you going to talk about?
I was going to say Rocco. I think is a very interesting commander choice. So I think I do want to try and potentially build something with this, just so I can run my favourite creatures as a commander, basically. But I want to get an alternate art, because the art, I just don't like the art on this. I'd rather just have it be a big beast or something like that. But yeah, this is a Naya legendary creature, Elf Druid, 3/1. But it's you pay red, green, and white, and X. And when you obviously you pay X when Rocco Cabretti Caterer, so it's just a caterer, enters the battlefield. If you cast it, you may search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost X or less, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. So this commander can basically just be any creature in your deck at any time.
Yeah, that's a good point. It really is like a toolbox.
Yeah.
On a commander.
So yeah, I really like it.
I don't know though. It does what, like, obviously. It only triggers when you do cast it, so you can't. It's not like you can even shenanigans of blink it or anything.
No, yeah, you can't shenanigans it.
For all the creatures in your deck, you're paying 3 mana tax plus whatever command tax there is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Does it just get too expensive?
Probably, yeah. It probably does. But I just like the mechanic space of it, allowing you to play any creature in the deck as your commander, basically.
Yeah.
For the extra cost.
I think it could work good in standard. I hadn't really thought about it, like as you'd said, but yeah, it's just a good toolbox. Like, you can just put one of each creature that can do something unique, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then 4 copies of Rocco. And effectively, you've got 5 copies of all your creatures in your deck at any time.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you the consistency of getting out certain creatures, but for a cost. Which I think is it is decent. I was looking at it mainly from a commander perspective, because it just gives you the ability of just making any creature essentially your commander, which I think is quite good. But in a standard format, I guess having that more sort of optimized, or that line that you want to search for over and over again could be quite good.
Yeah,
but it does
cost. I remember playing the Bring to Light in standard, which let you do that. Bring to Light was the where you can search for anything as long as it's got less mana cost than the amount of colours you've spent on it or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could use that to just sort of nip up anything you needed, and then you play that like a toolbox of 4 or 5 sort of finishers, and you just pick the right finisher for the type of game you've had.
Situation you're in, yeah, exactly. So yeah, I thought that was quite interesting.
Yeah, I'd overlooked that before, so no, thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah. So I think we're going into some of the Naya stuff. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, these are the Naya ones. So that's the land.
Yeah.
Lets you search for a mountain, forest, or plains. Trample, haste, lifelink, 4/4 for 4. It's quite a classic. Like, what was it in Khans of Tarkir? We had that mantis. So it was red, white, and blue, and that had lifelink, haste, and flying. Was it 4/4?
Oh yeah. That's it.
It's a bit of a not quite cycle, but it's a homage.
Bit of a throwback, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's quite good. I think that's pretty good. Get it out, trampling through, hasting damage, getting life back.
Yeah.
Cool. Then we've got another alliance card, of course. Another creature enters the battlefield under your control. Target creature other than this gets +1/+1 trample to the end of turn. Okay. Yeah.
It's a shame it can't target itself.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're behind on board, this isn't going to be doing a lot for you.
No.
But it will do a lot of work, but it just doesn't get you out of sticky situations.
No. What else we got here? Another alliance
Again,
card.
another sacrifice payoff. Whenever you sacrifice, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So again, they have to sacrifice a creature, though. It doesn't synergize necessarily with the treasures.
No.
But still a good sack payoff.
Yep. Rightly so as well, though. For 1 black and 1 red, if it was getting sacrificed for every permanent, that'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, that would be a little bit.
Yeah.
But then it wouldn't surprise me if they were like, "Yeah, let's just make it mythic, make it a 4/4, sacrifice anything, job done."
Yeah.
I just don't get it. Like they just seem to like, "Oh, make it mythic, and then just make it fucking absurdly powerful."
Yeah, just slap a bloody rarity on it and then just up all of its stats. Yeah, pretty much. Nice.
But anyway, so yeah, a few more alliance things, gaining life, get +1/+1 until end of turn.
Yeah.
Is that the same artist as that Faithless Looting?
It is, yeah.
Because that's what I thought of when I saw it.
Carly Mazur, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely is. 3 damage to each non-token creature. So that's like a little mini board wipe for Weenie. That can be quite good. So I think in Naya,
nice
maybe your
around.
creatures will probably be more powerful anyway, won't they?
Yeah.
Most of the
and
time.
There's a strong token theme to the Naya family, the Cabaretti. Something that's good. I thought this Sicilian Solist is just a bit odd. So 4 mana 3/2. Whenever another creature in this battlefield under your control, target creature and opponent controls can't block this turn. If it's the second time this ability is resolved, that creature attacks during its controller's next combat phase. So I don't really like. So the song is so good, they're just fucking jazzing out. They don't want to block.
Yeah.
Then it gets even better, and they just think, "Fuck, I'm gonna go and punch someone."
Yeah, they just want to go. They just want to get into the mosh pit, like during the second version.
Who's not had a night like that?
Exactly.
While someone's had a trombone out. We've all been there. Shit.
We have all been there.
Sometimes it happens too often.
Yeah. Deja vu. Unlicensed Hearse, a vehicle that taps and exiles 2 target cards from a single graveyard, and its power and toughness equal to the cards exiled of it. Crew for 2. Yeah, that could be quite good.
Yeah. Could get big.
Could get big, and obviously shuts down a lot of the clans or crime lords, whatever you want to call them, that are synergizing and filling up their graveyards. So that's quite cool.
This is potentially 2 mana draw 2 if you've got late in the game 5 or more mana values in your graveyard.
Draw 2, then discard a card, so 5 or more mana values. Yeah, that's pretty good. And again, if you want to fill your graveyard up, it can do that as well.
Just some more alliance. Gain Death Touch until end of turn. If the second time this ability resolves, all your creatures get Death Touch.
Yeah.
So that could be quite good.
Quite swingy, yeah.
Whenever the creature owners get +1/+1 counter.
Yeah,
Another angel. Don't even look at it. Don't even. One less to cast for each citizen you control.
Don't understand what's going on there.
Again, so the citizens seem to be green-white. So I guess it's a crossover of both the Bant colours and the Naya colours. So it is like sort of a sub-tribe.
Yeah, definitely alluding
you
to
can
that
borrow
teaser.
from 2 different clans. This can't be spelled. This spell can't be countered and destroy target non-land permanent. Void Rend for Esper colours.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That seems good.
Yeah, definitely good. Hit anything apart from lands, yeah, like that. Can't be countered, so yeah, that's a very good piece of removal for Esper.
So I've been learning some simplified Chinese. No, I've been learning some Korean actually.
Yeah.
And this is an artifact for 5 and a green, and it's lands you control have tap make treasure token.
Right.
I'm sure that's what it actually genuinely does. And I know this is causing a bit of a furore. Yeah, lands you control have tap create a treasure token. So all of your lands can tap to create treasures. So you can still use those treasures to make the mana. So effectively, your mana doesn't change. It just comes from a different source.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, big synergy potentials with sacrificing stuff, artifact stuff. I just feel like there's. I don't know whether what sort of decks can come out of this, and whether or not they're standard decks, commander decks, modern decks, or what. I just feel there's. It feels like it's breaking too much of a fundamental of Magic to not be powerful.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, yeah, worst case scenario, you're going to be able to tap all of your lands to get a load of treasure, so you can double your output of mana next turn. That's the worst case scenario, really.
I just feel there's got to be like some weird synergies and weird things to be doing to make that even better.
Yeah. Greater Magic minds will figure that out.
Yes. And then we'll have to play against those decks.
Yeah,
until standard rotates.
Yeah.
Fatal Grudge, so like Fatal Push, but more aggressive. Additional cast this spell, sacrifice a non-land permanent. Each opponent chooses a permanent they control that shares a type with the sacrifice permanent and sacrifices it. Then you draw a card. So you get to choose creature, artifact, enchantment, whatever. Then everyone has to sacrifice the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's alright, but it's just you just can't choose, can you? You can't really choose
No.
what you sacrifice, unfortunately.
But I don't know whether it just being like a 3-for-1 in Commander is good enough and replaces itself with draw a card.
Yeah, maybe.
Ginny Fade, Jetmir's second. 3 mana, 3/3. If you'd create one or more tokens, you may instead create that many 2/2 green cat creature tokens with haste, or that many 3/1 green dog creature tokens with vigilance. We've just found our combo with Smuggler's Stash. Because you tap them all, get a load of treasure tokens. Oh wait, they're not treasure tokens, they're now cats and dogs.
Yeah. Wow. So the Smuggler's Stash, or whatever it is, just turns into a rescue centre, basically.
Exactly.
When this is out, and they're all just loving life, coming out of their kennels and that.
What a lovely, heartwarming story.
What a lovely day that is. Yeah, look at the dog's face as well. You zoom in on that, he's just loving life, really.
That cat is just does
like,
not give a fuck.
Yeah. Dog's loving life. It's like cat's like, put me down, bitch. That seems quite cool. Yeah, I like the flavour of that. Just turning any sort of tokens you make into creatures with either vigilance or haste could be quite good. Can either be on the attack or defense there with that. What else have we got here?
Scheming Fence seems quite good. So for white and blue, you get a 2/3, and as it enters the battlefield, you may choose a non-land permanent. Activated abilities of the chosen permanent can't be activated, so it's a pithing needle on the body.
Yep.
But then, Scheming Fence has all the activated abilities of the chosen permanent, except for loyalty abilities, and you may spend mana, so they mana of any colour, to activate those abilities. So you get the ability, but you lock the ability off your opponent. It just seems quite powerful. It just seems good.
Yeah, it's like a silver bullet card, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah.
Sideboard,
I think it's
maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if there's enough things. Yeah, I don't know. It depends. I guess it does depend on what it's hitting, but yeah. Yeah, I guess just more graveyard stuff. Oh my god.
Angel of Suffering.
Hey, so a mono black angel.
Yeah.
On Capenna. What's going on?
Which cares about preventing damage and milling cards.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 5 mana, 5/3, flying. If damage would be dealt to you, prevent that damage, mill twice that many cards. So again, another. Oh no. And yeah, no, sort of preventing you from dying. You will just die by milling yourself instead.
That's interesting. It's like the Platinum Angel. Obviously prevents you from losing the game. This one obviously prevents you from taking damage, but it has a downside. So it's just another angel that just prevents you from losing until you lose a different way, which is interesting. 5 mana, 5/3 flyer with that ability is quite good, I guess.
What's the flavor text is, if you wish for blessings, mortal, ask your demon masters. We've given enough to your kind. So this angel's pissed as fuck.
Yes, yeah, it's not happy.
Not happy at all. So, again, that implies there's a whole lot more than the story gave us.
Yeah.
There's a lot more going on. Like the angels, are they back and angry? What's going on there?
Yeah. Another vehicle that creates treasures. Not much
For
going.
each artifact they control. That could get silly in Commander.
Yeah, that could be good against certain decks, couldn't it?
Duskmangler, that's your reanimation target. So there's additional cost to cast this spell. Sack a creature, discard a card, or pay 4 life. And it costs 7 mana. So it's not like it's even cheap. But then when it enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices a creature, discards a card, and loses 4 life. So you have to do one of them. Your opponents have to do all of those things. So
okay.
But yeah, if you don't have to necessarily cast it, if you can just get it to enter the battlefield, you get all the upside.
Yeah.
The negative.
It's when it enters the battlefield as well, so it could be Conjurer's Closeted in sort of Commander games or stuff, the way you're going to have more of that stuff available to you. Maybe not in this particular standard format or what have you, but yeah, Commander, that could be quite vile to see that coming into the battlefield every single turn, doing that thing to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got the land, obviously. Got sort of a Sun Titan-y sort of effect there, and the Extraction Specialist.
That creature can't attack or block as long as you control this thing. So you get a small creature back, but you can't do anything with it.
Yeah.
Some German muscle. Tavern. Hasardurin. Don't know.
German's much more harder than Italian by the looks of it.
Lebenspunkt. I just want to know what Lebenspunkter means. Treasures. Oh my god. Pay 3 life, flip a coin. If you win the flip, you gain 6 life. So Lebenspunkter is life. What?
Lebenspunkter.
Give me your Lebenspunkter.
Oh dear.
Pay 3 life, flip a coin. If you win the flip, you gain 6. As far as I've not heard more about this. Like.
Oh, it's a Tavern Swindler reprint.
Oh, is that? Oh, I didn't know that was a reprint.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Fantastic.
It is indeed. So yeah, what have we got else here? Not much. Just
yeah, some more just generic
stuff.
fodder.
Exile target on non-permanent. Get a treasure. So yeah, this is the if you go down a bit more, that's the other avatar, look, the Shadow of Morality.
Yes. Yes, the 15 mana spell.
Yeah.
If your life total is less than your starting life, this spell costs X less to cast, where X is the different. For a 7/7. So much like, obviously, Death Shadow from Modern.
Yeah, so if your life total is less than 20, so if your life was 7, this would cost 2 black for a 7/7.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it needs to be on low life to be able to cast it for a 7/7 with nothing else on it. I guess it's not great, is it?
No.
I don't think so.
But I saw Saffron Olive saying he thinks this is going to be big in Modern or Pioneer, one of them something,
right?
But not as a Death Shadow deck, but pairing it with something else.
Something else, yeah.
Like I can't remember what he said it was, but basically he thinks there's going to be something that you can do with this to make it good.
Right. Okay. That's up for them to find out, isn't it?
Yes.
What else have you got then? What's the Cabrete Ascendancy do? Beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature or planeswalker, you may reveal it, put it into your hand. If you don't, put it at the bottom of your library. Okay. So
Quite a good little filter.
Just a nice little filterer, yeah. Not bad, not bad.
It's annoying that I bet you end like. I can see myself playing this on turn 3, and I'll end up just keep putting all my lands to the bottom of my library, and just keep drawing more creatures and never any land, and just getting more and more annoyed.
Yeah. What else have we got?
The white hideaway. Whenever you attack with one or more creatures, create that many 1/1 green and white citizens. Wow. Then if you control 10 or more creatures, you may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that seems like a quick and easy way to get a lot of tokens. It's like...
Yeah, you want to couple that with the Halo Fountain thing, and you're obviously going to be winning the game soon, aren't you?
Yeah.
Tap 15, untapped 15 creatures, you win. Got more blue removal here, which is nice.
Blue fish.
More blue fish, more blue removal.
Making stuff. Oh, so you tap a creature and it doesn't untap, and then you get a 1/1 blue fish token.
Yeah.
Jalira, you've just found your 4-mana removal spell.
Next piece of removal, yes. Absolutely. Anything unique?
A few more sort of generic things. Again, that's the same as that big one before. That you can exile it to give a land Naya colours, and then you can cast it from exile.
Just a cycle,
to get a 5/3, which when it enters the battle will get a 1/1. Like I thought I'd seen a cycle on it before.
Yeah.
And I think this pretty much confirms it. It'd be weird for them to be 2 and not the other 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this looked quite good. Unleash the Inferno. So 1 green, 1 black, red, and green. Inferno. Unleash the Inferno deals 7 damage to target creature or planeswalker. When it deals excess damage this way, destroy target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls with mana value less than or equal to the amount of excess damage.
Yeah.
So sort of like fire breathing, trample, shatter.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. What I want to know though is what is the insect in the art? Are those on the plane?
That's a very good point. Where is that?
What are those?
What are those?
What are those? I want to see that thing. Whatever the Inferno is being unleashed upon.
Yeah, if we do not get that by the end of the set, I quit Magic and I'll sell all of my cards.
Same, yeah.
That's the end.
Oh wait, I already have done.
I probably won't do that.
No.
But I will try and remember that and be upset when we don't ever find out what this massive fucking insect is.
Massive centipede thing, yeah. What else we got here then? The other hideaway card.
Where's that one? Oh yeah, the black one.
That's the beginning of your upkeep. You may mill 3 cards, and if there are 20 or more cards in your graveyard, you may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost. There we go.
Love that self-mill.
Yeah, gotta love that, haven't you?
And we've got a plant dinosaur.
Okay,
always happy to see you.
This is on the teaser.
Yeah, so 3 mana 4/4 with vigilance. Good. When it enters the battlefield, search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped. Good.
Yeah.
And it can't attack or block unless you control 7 or more lands. Bad.
Okay.
So people are comparing it to was it Rotting Regisaur from Ixalan? That was like very similar. It was big. I think it got something when it came in, but couldn't attack unless you had the City's Blessing. So.
Oh no, that was Wayward Swordtooth you're on about.
Wayward, sorry, that's it. Yes, Rotting Regisaur is not that card at all.
Yeah, that was the Rotting Regisaur was one that it's a 7/6 for 3, and you have to discard a card at the start of your turn.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. So
I like the way that's like the theme of dinosaurs. It seems that they are massive, but have this sort of drawback in that you have to. They're almost like the new demons, is what I'm trying to say.
Dinosaurs, demons, meh. Yeah.
Oh my god, when do we get the dinosaur demon?
Oh yeah, that's coming next.
That's definitely coming soon.
That's the next card.
Yeah, I am very disappointed by the lack of demons in this set.
Yeah, same.
When they said, "Oh, we're going to New Capenna and it's a city controlled by demons," I was thinking, "Oh yeah, we're going to get some like cool demons."
Yeah, same here.
But no, we just got the 5 leaders. So yeah, we've got 5 demons. Yep, that's cool. But they felt very non-demonish. They don't look very demonish. It's
No.
just, yeah, I just feel like they. I don't know. I just feel like they had this world they wanted to make work, but they couldn't do it in the cards. Fuck it, we'll do it anyway, but just only by name, not by nature.
That's right. Yeah, I was
So,
hoping for the same, but yeah,
yeah.
it's still cool. It's still going to get me back into playing, I think. But yeah, could have been better on that front. We've got bounce spell here. We've got enchanted creature is attacking alone. It can't be blocked. Whenever it deals combat
Yeah.
damage, it basically just draws a card, discards a card, gets a counter because of the connive thing.
Could be good, sort of like the Voltron thing.
Yeah.
You're attacking with one big thing. Again, for the Esper, funny mana cost one. Enter the battlefield connives. Whenever you discard one or more cards, exile it from your graveyard, and when it dies, put the cards exiled with it into their owner's hands.
Yeah.
So you get all your connive discard stuff back.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Annoyingly, I was hoping this might counter Turgrid. I believe it doesn't. Well, I think it depends on whose turn it is, because then it's active player, non-active player. But basically, if Turgid resolves first, they get your stuff that's been discarded and you don't.
Oh yeah, don't think about that. Yeah.
Shame.
That's a shame. Never mind.
Onwards and upwards.
Another one of these cards here, the Ogre Warrior.
Yes.
It's another thing that has a drawback like the Kraken.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is
3 mana 6/4 menace.
Exactly, yeah. When it attacks defending player, you may have you draw a card, and if they do, you remove it from combat. So it's just one of those big creatures that have a drawback that obviously forces a decision from your opponent.
Yeah. And there's only so long they can keep doing it. There's only so long they can keep giving you advantage.
Exactly, yeah. So somehow, at some point, they have to think, right, okay, yeah, we're not going to bother with this 6/4 menace. It can just come in. And I think those are decks I like to make. It's just like, especially after playing a lot of other card games, making your opponent force a decision, just giving them extra decisions to make can be pivotal in screwing up with what their optimal play would be normally.
Yes. Yeah, it sort of ruins. It forces them to ruin their plan.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, like that.
Body launderer, not just money launderer. Body launderer. 3/3 death touch for 4. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, Body Launderer connives. When Body Launderer dies, return another target non-rogue creature card with equal or lesser power from your graveyard to the battlefield. Quite why it has to be non-rogue.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a bit weird.
Just stop you just keep recurring multiple Body Launderers. Which is, I don't know. I don't know why the non-rogue element there. And then we have the Obscura Ascendancy. Whenever you cast a spell, if its mana value is equal to 1 plus the number of soul counters on Obscura Ascendancy, put a soul counter on Ascendancy and create a 2/2 white spirit creature token with flying. Then if you have 5 or more soul counters, your spirits get +3/+3.
Cool.
So is there enough of a curve to make a spirits deck?
I haven't seen any spirits in this particular set,
No.
so I don't know what's going on in previous ones. I haven't really looked, but yeah.
No, obviously there's a good few spirits in Kamigawa. Yeah, I don't know what they want you to do there.
Yeah, it's just a bit weird because it feels like the Esper is the connive, and there's not much spirits, so yeah, it's a bit of a weird disconnect.
Yeah, seems weird.
Yeah.
So you've got cast a 1-drop, then a 2-drop, then a 3-drop, then a 4-drop, then a 5-drop.
Yeah. Whenever you draw a card, target opponent loses a life and you gain life. Yeah, it's a nice little uncommon, again, build around
Absolute
commander.
Classic. Absolute classic.
Yeah. What else you got going on then? Got the Seraph thing, which is the same as the other things.
But it's an angel bath thing. All creatures attack enchanted creatures controller each combat if able. When an enchanted creature dies, draw a card. So I guess is that meant to be for? Is that meant to be in commander?
All creatures attack enchanted creatures controller. Yeah, because you enchant someone else's creature and all creatures attack it.
Yeah.
And then they force the block and then you draw a card. So I guess it deters attacks from you, makes people force combat somebody else. Yeah, I guess that's all right. That's okay.
This, I imagine, probably being. It's like, was it Torrential Gearhulk? This next one.
Yeah.
It's 1 white, blue, and black for a 3/1 with flash and lifelink. When it enters the battlefield, it connives. When it connives this way, return up to 1 target spell to its owner's hand. Oh no, return a spell to its owner's hand. So that's just like counter a spell, but only to hand. But I guess you can use that to save your own spells or something. I don't know why you'd really want to just bounce a spell back to your owner's hand, to your opponent's hand, because they could just recast it next turn anyway.
Yeah, it's probably to save one of your own, I expect, from being countered or something like that.
I guess there are fringe cases where it's good to do it to your opponent. Like if there's something that does have a drawback, it's like as an additional cost to cast this, pay 4 life. They've paid 4 life. Okay, bounce it back to their hand. They've got to do it again. So they've paid 8 life to get the thing out now.
Yeah, doesn't seem great, does it?
And here's the last 3. Players can't gain life. Damage can't be prevented, and it deals 3 damage to any target. So I don't know. I don't know whether this is something that burn decks need somewhere.
Yeah.
To stop the life gain, stop the damage prevention, and then go on a little thing to win.
I mean, it stops the angel, the mono black angel that prevents damage. That we saw earlier.
Yeah.
It prevents all the damage and mills you instead. It prevents that from happening because damage can't be prevented. 3 damage to any target. Yes, I guess it's just making sure that cannot be prevented in any way in mono red.
Yeah. I like the little rules text there that shield counters don't prevent this damage as they are removed. So just a little reminder that the prevent damage doesn't. Shield counters don't prevent damage; they just absorb it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And we've got something that creates treasures and citizens, and tap target creature doesn't tap to its controller's next turn. Tap step, draw a card. Casualty 1. Real shame that's a sorcery. I think it's an instant. That'd be really good.
Yeah.
Just very good tempo sort of play. But yeah, overall, how do you feel of the set so far, Aaron?
Yeah, so far I think it's pretty good. Obviously, we've seen a lot of new weird stuff. I mean, there's still also obviously what you said about I wish it was more demonic, but I think it's the fact that it's not demonic. I think it's working in a weird way because it's not the same thing we've seen before countless times. It's something really bizarre.
Yeah.
So there's pros and cons to both. So I think it's a very unique looking set.
Yeah, there does seem to be a lot of. I think actually every set they do now has a lot of very bizarre mechanics and just strange, like this brass knuckles at the top there. You can see now it's just a very odd card. And just does surprisingly still just manage to keep coming up with these weird cards that aren't necessarily game breakers. They're just very interesting cards, and you think, what are the possibilities with this? Not just, oh good, I can jam this in a deck and win. How can you have some fun with it?
Exactly, yeah. And yeah, they do have to keep pushing the boat out because they have to keep up with what's going on. They have to keep being different, I guess. And that's why they're exploring these weird worlds now, where there's crime lords and stuff, and crossing over more pop culture into their game through various products, which is to the detriment sometimes of the brand and the game itself. But yeah, they have to keep doing these things because they are the biggest card game out there. So
Yeah.
they're in the position to be able to do these things. So why the fuck not?
You saying they're the biggest card game? I did see something the other day that Kaldheim was their biggest ever winter release, I believe.
Really?
Like it sold the best or something. I don't know in what metric. Like I'm still a bit surprised because like still a lot of things are locked down. There's still a lot of events not going ahead. So I don't know if it's purely paper based or whether or not they've also included arena sales and arena sort of stuff. Because I don't know whether it's just I don't know if people spend a lot more money drafting on arena. Because like if you do a draft at your local game store, you can probably only do it once a week because that's the only time you can get enough people there. It costs £20. And I don't know whether or not drafting on arena is much easier because you can do sort of 3 or 4 in a night. If you're just powering through them, you can do them for I don't know what they are. So I don't know if they're like £10 or £12. So I don't know if you do get a lot more people doing it.
Yeah,
via arena.
Yeah, it's just
and whether or not they count that the same. Do they count that as someone's done 3 drafts versus only 1 draft? And so because we were all locked inside, everyone was drafting more because they could. I don't know.
Probably, yeah. I think draft is just one of those bookkeeping things, isn't it? Like picking one card out and passing it to the left. I think when it's in digital form, you pick the card out, then digitally you get all of the options in front of you. You pick the next one and pass it. I think it's just a lot easier to do draft on arena. Although saying that, draft is quite fun in real life.
Yeah, I do find it weird how different draft is on arena and MTGO compared to real life. Like the fact that on MTGO and arena, you can build your deck as you can go. You can look at all the cards you've picked. You lay them out. You can sort of have how your deck is looking, so that when you're making your picks, you've got a very informed decision of what you've already done. Whereas in paper, you're not allowed to look at your cards at all. They have to sit there in a pile. Don't look at them. So I think it's a lot harder to remember because I always do it. Fucking hell, the amount of drafts I've done in paper where I think I picked a card, like a few turns before, have picked more cards based on that. Look, and I picked the other fucking card. I basically sort of have the option of 2 build arounds. I pick one, and then forget which one I picked, and then think, fucking hell, I've just shit this draft in the bin.
Wow, I didn't even realise you weren't allowed to look at the cards.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're drafting properly in paper, obviously the main reason is it's to stop you cheating. If you can pick up both packs, if you can look at the pack, look at what you've got, it'd be very easy to pick up, slip a card from your already drafted pile into the new pack, take 2 cards out of the new pack. It's just too easy to cheat if you're allowed to touch your pile. That's the reason for it.
Yeah.
But I just find it weird, but why not just make it that arena and MTGO is the same in that you just can't see what you've drafted.
Yeah.
It would have a little counter at the top. You've drafted 8 cards already, but just not necessarily be allowed to know which ones they are.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm glad because I think it helps weaker players. Obviously, it helps better players, but I think better players get more of an advantage when they can't see what they've drafted.
That's right.
They just know it.
Yeah. But yeah, so far, I like the look of it. I don't know how many cards is there left to.
Well, I think there's about 90 when we looked.
Yeah.
So well, that's not right. I don't know what I've done there. That's because it's by order. But yeah, I think we've had 170 of the 260, 280 cards in the format or something. So we've sort of had nearly 2/3 of the set out now. So
Yeah, so probably
Interesting to see what's left.
by this time next week, if we do it next week, I imagine it probably would be all done by then.
I think so. I think because last week we'd look at the schedule, didn't we? When all the different spoilers should be ending and
Yeah.
what stuff should be coming. And I think by next week we should have the whole set, and I think most of the commander set as well.
Nice. Yeah. Looking good so far, though.
Yeah. I think it looks like a fun set. I think I will want to draft it. I think I will want to play it.
Yeah.
One thing I forgot right back to the beginning when we spoke about Obnixion, pairing it with the chariot in standard that lets you create copies of tokens. So you can just keep attacking with it and just keep making more and more tokens of your Obnixion.
Oh, yeah.
Forever and ever.
Yeah, I can't remember what that was called now, but I know what you're on about.
A Seeker's Chariot or something. It was the green god. There, yeah, a Seeker's Chariot. So obviously, end of the battlefield, create two green cat tokens. Whenever it attacks, you create a copy that's a copy of a token you control.
So you copy the token Planeswalker. Yeah.
Yeah. So you copy Obnixion. Obviously, people have already been copying Ren and Seven's tree token. But instead of the token, they can just create more Planeswalkers. So I don't know whether there's a Jund token deck. Obviously, borrowing. Well, it doesn't really have to be a token deck, does it? It's just this Ren and Seven and Obnixion together.
Yeah.
Of 3 powerful cards, and then you just throw in other powerful cards. Maybe we are back to the old school Jund that is just play good cards in the right colours.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna love playing with that Obnixion, I think. 2 Planeswalkers for the price of 1. Lovely old job.
Yeah.
Well, you have to casualty it, but still.
Yeah.
But yeah, looks good.
I guess that's. Yeah, I think there'll be some. Yeah, that could be a good little working out how to build that deck. Obviously, you need to use the casualties. So you want to have some 1 and 2 drop creatures in there to casualty, but obviously they'll only make a very small Obnixion. So then we also want a few big things. So if you get Obnixion late, you can get a really big Obnixion that you could probably ultimate straight away.
And then you want to have
like if you pair the Ren and 7, you can kill one of the Ren's 7 tokens to get instantly a massive Obnixion straight away. Then draw 7 cards, lose 7 life.
Another thing as well is obviously with the Obnixion Planeswalker, you could chuck one of those those swords in there, which you can equip to the Planeswalkers.
Yeah.
And make him quite strong. Because obviously he comes in as a casualty X, so you just sack a big creature, get the sword on it, off you go.
Because on it, when it says the sword, does say it's no longer a Planeswalker, so that means it can't be attacked anymore. So your opponents can't kill it in normal based kill Planeswalkers. Obviously, they can kill it as in destroy target creature sort of thing and deal damage to target creature.
I guess
maybe it's easier to kill in that sense then.
Yeah, maybe.
But it just means they can't directly attack it.
No, that's right.
I did just think though, if you copy the copy of Obnixion, does it come in with the same amount of loyalty counters, or does it just come in with no loyalty counters and therefore does nothing? Does the Chariot Obnixion trick just do nothing? Because you're copying it, but the copy doesn't have anything that says enter with this many loyalty counters anymore.
Yeah, but you're just copying the spell, so when you're copying it, I guess.
No, the chariot's not copying a spell, you're copying a token. So that there, if you copy a target token you control,
so
you copy the Obnixion,
and just die, come in and die.
Obnixion effectively comes in with nil, I think.
Yeah, probably.
So maybe it doesn't work as planned.
That's a shame.
The only way to really test it is go onto Arena, burn through 4 mythic wild cards, 4 rare wild cards, loads and loads of wild cards, do it, realise it doesn't work, you've wasted all your wild cards, and then quit.
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw someone say you should be able to play, just against Sparky, just like Goldfish in your deck. You should be able to play that with cards you haven't crafted as like a way to test a deck, to see if you like it, to see if it works, before you waste all your wild cards. And I think that'd be a good way to make Arena much better for not much cost. I think still most players, most sort of franchise players, wouldn't even waste their time with it. They'd just burn through their wild cards and get what they wanted.
What they need, yeah.
And I think it would help the more casual player not feel like they're wasting their money. Because like if a casual player saw that interaction, thought, "Oh, that's really cool, I'm going to do it," and then they realise, "Oh, it doesn't actually work," because they just sort of made a mistake in the rules, and then it just feels shit that you've wasted all your wild cards on a deck that doesn't work.
Yeah, it would be good to have some sort of testing facility, but yeah. I mean, it doesn't. MTGO doesn't have any testing facilities. Don't think it does it? But then if you're
like I said, yeah, and then on the other hand, nowhere else in Magic is there this testing facility thing, unless you literally just proxy up cards and play by yourself.
Yeah, just draw. You can pretty much draw sample hands on a lot of stuff, but you can't play with the cards, unfortunately. So.
No.
Hey ho. That's pretty much it for today. We'll be going through the rest of the set next week, plus whatever is released at that time. Obviously, loads of random cards appeared today from the Commander set, so I'm sure we'll get a load of random cards next week as well. But yeah, liking the look of it. We'll probably play a lot of it, and I'm hopefully going to the Mystic Games pre-release next Friday.
Fantastic.
Depending on whether the others are going or not. But yeah, I'll definitely play this on Arena when it comes out. I'm looking forward to seeing what the rest of the cards are.
Same. I think, because they usually save a few good ones for the end.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
They get all the big hitters. I think all the Planeswalkers got spoiled like in the first couple of days.
Yeah.
And then, usually like some of like the big actual standard winners will come out.
Yeah. But yes. Well, yeah. As we normally do, or as we used to do, the card set reviews are the longest ones, and we haven't even gone through the whole set yet either. So hopefully next week will be a little bit shorter.
There will only be half as many cards for us to talk about, and also a lot of them should be the final day deck dump. The final day dump that is just loads of random commons that don't really do anything. That should be much.
Nice. Cool. Well, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you this time next week again for the Magic the Gathering Past Turn podcast. And let's hope you all have a good week wherever you might be watching out there in the big wide world. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Thanks, Az.